Okay, we're live.
We finally on?
Sorry about that. I don't know what happened with the Wi-Fi. We should be good now.
Detachable penis.
Sorry, the video's a little choppy, but hey, man. It's a work in progress.
A work of art, yes. Yes, idiot savant.
This is take 2. We're down here in Philly at the Canna Care?
Canna Care, baby.
Canna Care.
K-A-N-E-H-K-A-R-E.
CannaCare.com.
CannaCare.com.
With Reverend Duff. Hi, Reverend Duff.
Yo, this guy.
Go ahead.
Madonna mia.
Yo, how you guys doing?
Wonderful now. I'm much better now. I got line.
This guy. What a jabroni.
So was he just live, half naked on the air? The camera's set up over there.
Yeah.
Was he getting naked?
He doesn't even know.
He's just getting naked.
He's so high.
No. Oh, no. I hope nobody saw
ladies, I know.
This isn't that kind of place.
Wow.
That's 2 blocks down to the left.
Just read his shirt, and you can see what where he's at. It says,
Oh.
F you effing F.
Okay.
It's a lot of effity F.
Okay, terrific.
Oh, I brought some parchment. You know, let's see what we get out of that.
What are you going to do? What's that, Keith?
That's
Got some
Keith.
Keith there.
Wouldn't be the best of the best, but I mean, it's...
Nice.
You know what I'm saying?
Gonna press it down. Whoops, there we go.
You
Press it down. Press it down.
You smash it.
Smash it.
You smash the hash. That's what they do. Oh yeah, this is beautiful.
Oh, they're telling me this is take 3. No, that was actually, well, maybe. You might be right.
Did you do a pre-show?
I rebooted
Did a
twice.
pre-show without me?
This is a horrible...
You suck. And you say I go on too many times at the end of the day?
I didn't do a pre-show. Talk bad about me, then I take clips.
You got your little... You
on
notice...
Instagram.
You notice I could have like 2 people watching, you know, like the one girl that wants to go out with me, and then like the Fed, and then all of a sudden like I'll talk about Lefty, and then all of a sudden like Lefty's in, like not even 10 seconds later. Like, hey, he's talking about you. He's talking about
you on the podcast. Over.
Exactly. And then all of a sudden he's like, what's he talking about me for?
Down at Canna Care. Canna Care. Canna Care. Canna Care.com. Canna
Care.
Canna
Care.
Canna
Care.com. That's right, baby.
Yeah.
These are the CBD. Oh, was that a fist pump? I don't know. Was that what you were trying to? I'm so high.
It is now.
Sorry.
You're talking over the lyrics.
Machine. For what people stay, they sway. For today is good as any day. Y'all feel slightly this, let's resist. Raise your fist and pump like this. Promises all the time. Don't cross the line, and you know it's mine. Who you wanna roll with? Who you wanna roll with? Lefty, let's roll. Who you wanna roll with? Who you wanna roll with? Lefty, let's roll.
Yeah, I know. The music's a little.
Is it too loud? You can turn that down.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to get high. We, Sativa Cross, bring to you the Ignorance is No Excuse Tour Potcast.
Podcast.
Podcast. Yes. Live. Today we're live. I know, sorry. We're live from Philadelphia. Isn't that supposed to be like the city of freedom? The city of brotherly love? Where freedom all started? The Liberty Bell? Ain't that where Weed Man and Poe and Mike Whiter and Chris Goldstein and Patrick Duff, didn't they like hold smokeouts right here at the Philadelphia Liberty Bell thingy majiggy, right? We're in the right city, right?
Right on.
It's beautiful. Anyway, starring today, the one, the only, Lefty Grimes.
Good morning, Wayne.
And you got me, CK.
CK.
The intern, he stayed home. He stayed home. I'll tell you though, what a beautiful, I like this place. We are at the Canna Care facility. That's what we're going to call it. The Canna Care facility. Check it out. KANEHKARE.com. Check it out, really. Huh? Does he know we have headphones on and we can't hear shit?
Yeah, sorry. We can't hear anything unless you're on a mic.
Yes, there you go.
Coming to you from the Patients Lounge.
Patience Lounge?
Yeah, how you like
Okay.
that? I made that up. It's better than
What'd you say?
The room you sit in.
the room you sit in. Better than that. Thanks,
You're-
Ray. Well, in the back here, Ray, thank you. Ray's going to actually my manager. In the back, actually, we got a couple booths there that are set up for with dab rigs and some different bongs, and yes, we can call them bongs. And people can sit, they can medicate, and they're medicating. Above them is a grow light that looks like a grow light, but it's actually a hood for a vent that sucks some of the smoke out. And in the back, you have Wayne and Lefty sitting back here on a nice Italian leather sofa.
In the patient room.
In the patient lounge
White.
back here.
The room you sit in.
Italian.
And then I hear the machine in the back in the press room, in the rosin room, going off. It's ready
rosin
to
room.
press some
I like
rosin right now, I think. And then right behind me is the outdoor patient area that you can come and chill and relax and use your blunts or joints or whatever it is that you want to use. And we also have like tons of great CBD products. I got CBD dabs. I got 5 types of CBD flowers. I've got CBD tinctures and CBD edibles. So I mean, it's and also all kinds of glass. Oh, and skunk bags too. Yeah, smell proof, 100% smell proof, even from canines, and also smell proof from your neighbor, waterproof, and also locking bags. So we got tons of cool stuff here. So yeah, and I'm gonna go. I'm gonna utilize one of the bongs, and you guys sit back here in the patient's lounge.
Nice. What's your best CBD bud you
The
got?
best CBD bud right now is the cherry blossom. People love the cherry blossom.
Cherry Blossom.
Maybe you know what I'll do is I'm gonna
Why
roll
don't
up
you get me a jar and get me
the
a
percentage on cherry blossom is 23.04% CBD, which is a really high percentage CBD. But it's got real good flavor to it. Got good terpene profile, which is important to have any type of effect at all. Cannabis with no terpene profile might as well be a penis that can't get hard. It just doesn't work.
Ooh. I see.
Wow.
He knows what Lefty can understand.
Yeah.
That was a great analogy. It was perfect for Lefty. Lefty understood that perfectly.
Hurtful.
It's truthful.
Hurtful.
But anyway, yeah, give me a jar with bong, preferably with ice. You know what I'm saying? This is Sativa Cross. I'm just saying.
I like how there's rigs here, and you're allowed to vape, and oh yeah.
So I have some Gorilla Glue with some wonderful
Gorilla Glue
hash rosin on top.
with some
Tahoe Cookies hash rosin.
Oh my goodness.
Tahoe cookies hash rosin.
Rig from me.
Are you smoking this?
I was going to do all in one. I was going to show you
I thought you were
how
sharing.
all in one goes, and I'll bring one back.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna watch the expert.
Yeah,
Get
he's
ready.
on camera,
Take some
right?
deep breath first. Is that the deep breath important first? It is. It is. He's shaking his head yes. And that thing is just filling up with white milk. Look at that
That's
thing.
not milk, son.
Oh my goodness.
It's got some rosin in there, some CBDs,
Wow.
THCs, THCVs, CBGs, CBLs. It's got everything but acid in there, pretty much. Ooh, he's pretty good at sucking. I'm just saying, you know.
That felt wonderful.
Lovely bouquet.
Bouquet?
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 Bouquet.
There's still something left.
Isn't that cute? You could clear it for him.
I'll clear the milky.
Nice. What do you think?
That tastes pretty good.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Lovely.
This is a great temple.
I,
Just
I-
look around. I mean, it's made for stoners. I mean, just
I like the artwork.
fractals and crazy stuff everywhere.
Fractals. What are they?
It's that kind of images that are like, kind of disjointed and put together. And like that face is kind of fractal. It's kind of over there and over there.
Okay.
There's all kinds of cool stuff going on here.
That pyramid oracle.
Yeah, it's like
Interesting.
the third eye is over there, or the third eye is up there. No, there's like 4 eyes. There's almost 4 eyes.
Yeah, it
That's
is
pretty
4
crazy.
eyes, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty insane.
5, 6 if you count those two. It's crazy, dude. Ay, caramba.
So yeah, it's been a busy week
How busy has it
for a
been?
lot of reasons.
I'm listening.
Are you doing a squish?
I'm listening.
Well, in the time.
What's up, Ray?
Hey, Ray.
Be afraid to grab a mic.
Grab a mic. Grab a chair.
Ray is the... Huh?
You get a dab yet?
Not yet, bro. I smoked a joint. Okay, I smoked like 10 joints.
Yeah, grab a mic. I can't hear you.
Yeah, grab that mic.
There you go. That's even better.
Making it work.
Okay.
Ray here is the manager at Canacare.
Cool. Thank
Last
you.
time I came here, he
I like Ray already. He takes a drink and puts it away from all the expensive equipment. So yeah,
'cause he's smart.
he's good. We like him already.
Keeping it real.
You're off to a
Keeping
good
it
start.
real. Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right.
How are you?
I'm good. How you guys doing
Good,
today?
man. Good.
Fantastic.
I
And
love
you?
Philly.
It's got nice and medicated. It's the city of freedom.
This is fun.
It really is,
Yeah.
man. It's just like
It all started here. Might as well end it here.
um,
The owner said I could smoke here, so screw it.
You can't smoke joints.
No, he said I could smoke joints. He
No,
said-
no joints. Right?
no joints inside.
See, with the wink.
Wait a minute. Are you twitching? What does that mean?
That's just
They
part
can
of,
only be CBD, is what he's telling you.
yeah,
okay?
only CBD joints.
CBD joints.
And
That's all I
That's
smoke.
all Wayne smokes.
That's
Is
Yeah, that's all I smoke.
Smoke
My CBD Keef. My CBD tasty cakes, too.
How do you guys like this couch? Pretty-
You kidding me?
yeah, I'm very comfy.
It sucks because I got to sit up for this freaking table.
Ah,
But if the table wasn't here, you kidding me? I would be lounged all over this place.
we can push the table back for
No, I gotta. It's crazy.
Yeah, he already farted on the couch.
No, I did not
That's
fart
all right.
yet. Not yet.
I've done a lot more than farted on that couch.
Oh, really? What have you done here? Tell
It's a
me.
casting couch.
It's a casting couch, really?
It's a big casting couch,
I smoked a vaporizer on that couch.
Okay.
amongst other things.
Yeah.
Yeah, Volcano, I believe, is the name.
I love volcanoes. That was her name?
Oh, it was a good movie, right?
It started with a V, something. Vulva.
Mulva,
Oh, boy.
Dolores.
What's going on in Philly? What kind of issues are you having here in Philly with cannabis? Anything going on?
What kind of issues? They've been very kind
Yeah.
about cannabis here in Philadelphia.
Seems it.
actually, it's
What's
when
up,
they
baby?
passed the decrim law, it literally felt like I could breathe better. You know what I mean? Knowing that I wasn't a criminal for walking around with a joint
Yeah.
because I wanted to medicate. This is before there was medical cannabis available here in Pennsylvania, which is still, they don't. It's not medical. They call it medical, and then they charge high-end retail prices, and there's a lot to be.
It's not effective. If it's overpriced, it's not effective as a medicine.
It's not effective, especially considering that you can't get any kind of subsidiary for it. It's not covered by health insurance or anything like that. So anybody with any kind of real serious cancer or something like that, where they need like several grams of RSO a day, it's just not. It's going to be like over $2,000 a week for people like that. You know what I mean? That's at like a very base level, just to get 2 or 3 grams of RSO in them, which aren't even really full spectrum. They're single strain, the RSOs that they have available. There's definitely room for improvement. You know what I mean? For people to get the care that they need and the level of cannabinoids necessary for homeostasis.
It'll get there. You guys just started, man. You guys just started.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, in the beginning, you couldn't get flour.
Hi, Colleen.
Hi, Colleen.
Mommy.
What up, people?
Hey, hey.
Hi, Katrina.
Hi, Katrina.
Hello.
She's like, what's that?
You know how to talk into a microphone.
She's
You
like,
already did a press
I've done this before.
You did that.
Before I get to the crystal shop, I just wanted to give a shout out to all the beautiful art that is adorning the walls behind you guys. You guys been checking this stuff out? It's cool stuff, right?
Hell yeah.
This is all Pyramid Oracle. You can find him on Instagram at Pyramid Oracle. PYRAMIDORACLE. It's on the Instagram. And then in the front room, I don't know if you saw those busts up there, all the Marys and stuff like that. It's pretty wild stuff. That's our good friend Maxie. This is at Pyro Maxie. Yeah. That's at Pyro Maxie, PYROMAXI. That's for her wood burning stuff, and then for all of her other art, it's at 321 IXAMAXI123. I'll do that one more time. That's at 321 IX. I mean, it just really makes it more intriguing and inviting and comforting, and gives it really cool shit to look at when you're stoned, man. Stuff behind you is some of my favorite. And so these photographs that he created were actually photographs of wheat pastes that he put up in different cities around the world. So some of these are the only way you can get these images. The originals have been destroyed on the wall already where they lay. That one in particular in the middle right there, that's in Berlin. Yup, that one's in Berlin. That's one of my favorites.
Wow.
So, yeah, really cool stuff. So, yeah, we're just creating a comfortable, safe consumption space for cannabis users here in Philadelphia. So feel free to come check us out. We're at 2516 Frankfurt Avenue. Staying medicated. How you guys feeling today?
It's nice and medicated. You kidding me? Place is nice.
I'm ready for another dab.
Hello, you're on the air.
Oh, boy.
Hey, man. It's Rich. I'm trying to find you guys.
What's the
I'm on
address?
Frankfurt Avenue and Cumberland Street.
25.
So I'm not sure where you guys...
Cumberland? It's right there.
2516,
25.
Rich.
2516. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. I'll be there in a minute. Thank you.
Ciao, ciao.
Ciao. Hey, oh, I had a question for him.
He beat you to
He
it.
beat me to it.
One more time. We are at 2516 Frankfurt Avenue, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, right next to the Quick Stop. That's a nice landmark for you. I think the closest cross street is Cumberland.
She's adorable.
Aw.
Right at Four Sons Pizza. Shout out Four Sons Pizza.
Yeah.
Everything
Shout
there is
out
good.
Canacare, baby.
We are
There's
chilling
a
at
crystal shop,
Canacare.
too, around here.
There is a crystal shop. Thanks, Wayne.
There is, man. I've been there. I've been to that crystal shop.
2415 Frankfurt Avenue.
Where'd I
We are
get there?
cannabis friendly.
Yo, you guys have poop there.
We do. We have
I thought, yeah, fossilized Dung.
Dong, da, dong, dong.
Really? Wow, what's that for? That's my favorite item. Wait, grab a mic. I want to hear this. This is great. Give me that white mic.
It's been replaced by iron, so it's heavy shit, man.
It's one of my favorite
Literally.
items at Middle Path. It is the fossilized dinosaur dung, which kids think is super cool and gross all at the same time, but it's just like a really cool fossil.
Hi, Richie.
Richie in the house.
Right at Cumberland.
You were just like down the street.
I got to do a dab and get to the crystal shop, so love you guys.
Say
Thanks,
hey,
brother.
Uncle
Good
Richie.
seeing
Stay
you, Ray.
medicated.
Thanks for happiness. Happiness, whatever the fuck that means.
Yeah, thanks for hopping us.
Thanks for happiness, man.
Thanks for happenings.
See what happens when you mix that CBD with the THCs.
Woo!
Yo, yo.
Hey,
What's up, Richie? How the hell
You're
are
on
you?
the air.
I'm on the air. Does that mean I can say the 7 words?
No, you can't do that.
Oh, come on. Fuck that. Oh, sorry.
Oh, my.
Okay,
that
6
was
words
spelled with
now.
a PH. Wow, this is pretty cool.
You never been here.
I was before all this
Oh,
happened.
this is all the artwork. This is great now.
This is way like last time I was here was kind of like a empty, unfinished kind of spot. This looks way better.
Yeah, I feel like I'm home.
Oh yeah, and we're in Duff's house today, man.
Oh yes, the house
Hey.
of
Duff's
Duff.
house. Whose house? What happened?
It came out real dark, you know. So when you press, material is everything when you press it. So I mean, so you just picture it like this. So you're taking whatever the material is, and you're trying to get the essence out of it. So if it's something that you wouldn't really enjoy smoking, it's probably something you wouldn't really enjoy pressing. All right, that's the fact, Jack. That's the fact, Jack. That's the fact, Jack.
So we be pressing.
Sorry.
Pressing.
Can you get this thing out of this monster?
What is
bag?
that? It is a huge ball of keef.
A huge ball of.
Oh, my goodness.
Ooh, this is bubble hash.
Oh, wow.
And you want to press this? I agree. Now, if we press this, now, can somebody have a lighter, please?
Oh, this is great.
Someone stole my lighter.
Talk into that mic. I can't hear you.
One of the ways you can tell good bubble hash and the oil consistency of bubble hash is, and the word bubble hash doesn't come from bubble bags, by the way. Okay? It doesn't come from bubble bags. It comes from the fact that the hash will. You're going to try to separate that plant matter that you see in that bag right here. See this plant matter? You don't want that because that's all. See how green it is? So if it's green like that, it ain't no good. It's just all shake. If it's light color like a tan and still powdery and flaky, that's a nice keef. That's just shake. Now let's see the lighter test. Ladies and gentlemen, did bubble.
Need a
Did
bubble.
bubble.
Did bubble.
We have bubble.
We have bubble. We
Nice.
have bubble. So this will press nicely. This will press out into something really delicious.
Wow.
So what do you think the percentage is?
Well, you know what? You have, and we'll press it, and we'll get the exact amount of the percentage. And then what we could do is we could press it on the small press, and then also press it on the large press. I've got a 4-ton press, and I've got a press that has 700 pounds of pressure, which is called the Rosin Go. And I sell these all here, by the way, rosin presses for sale here at Conacare.com. You like how I did that?
Yes.
Thank you very much. Shameless plug, yeah. And the rosin presses are from Rosin Tech that I have back in there in the little rosin room. So yeah, so we'll press a little bit of that, but I need to go take another bong hit and eat something. Yeah.
How about some tasty cakes?
Nah, you know what? I hear maybe some sandwiches might be coming. That would be awesome.
From where?
Might.
I think from
From
Poe's,
7-Eleven.
Nicky Allen Poe's,
From Pose.
which is right down the street.
Yes.
So here you have, which is interesting. Imagine that. So you have two guys that got arrested smoking pot at the Liberty Bell that both now own a business on Frankfurt Ave. That both have marijuana-based signs out front of their stores. So, yeah,
Nice.
it's okay. The stigma is over. It's
See
over.
what happens when you decriminalize weed?
Yeah, it's over in Philly.
It's actually not over. It's not over. Let's
It's a
just
start.
all admit it.
It's a good start.
The issue is the problem is that it's still used in this city as a tool to arrest black people. They literally did I think there was like 495 arrests last year for cannabis, and they were arrested for cannabis purchasing. It was like a weird like purchasing law, and it was like 87% of those people were black. Now, I know my friends, most all my friends that are white smoke pot, and a lot of my black friends. But so it's not that much majority of black people that smoke pot, So
Wow.
But you know what's crazy is only 2.5% of small businesses in Philadelphia are owned by black people. So that's a statistic that you'd probably like to change a bit if equality and the whole 14th Amendment is true.
That's interesting.
So
I didn't know that.
interesting, right?
Yeah.
But and if he brings some sandwiches down here, we can eat some real food. And no offense to Tasty Cakes, but I lost like 30 pounds. Yeah, in like 3 months. So I feel so much better. Yeah. And also, what happened is I almost died. That helps to lose weight. Yeah, I was in the hospital for a while.
What happened?
Yeah, I had
did we
like
not know
some
this?
crazy like stomach thing. Like they said it was diverticulitis. I had like surgeons standing around me.
Wow.
They're like wanting to cut into me.
Wow.
And I was not into it, So I said I'll change my diet. I'll stop drinking, and I kind of stopped drinking. But I definitely changed my diet and stopped drinking a lot. So yeah, I feel a lot better. But 4 days I was in the hospital. Literally, no food or water. They had me only in ice chips. My T cell count went from 19,000 to 22,000, all the way up to 24,000. And they were literally like, we have to operate. And I negotiated out of an operation with 3 surgeons. So by saying, because what happened is the night before, imagine this, your T cells. Let's see how like much of an infection you have. That kind of tells them what's going on. Like when they're at 22,000, you're in trouble. Like that's like big problems, And they're like, well, if they go up overnight, then we're going to have to operate in the morning. And I'm like, fair enough, It's at night. I'm not going to argue that now because I'm thinking they're going to go down. I'm feeling better. But overnight, my arm had like a IV in it, right? And like, you move around, like, and the IV got infected. So like I had a big bump on my arm. My arm was hurting in the morning. And they come and get my blood in the morning, and they take my blood, but my arm is now infected too, right? So they take the blood, they go down, and it comes back at 24,000. They come in to wheel me out. They're like, all right, Mr. Duff, I got to take. I said, whoa, what's going on here? Your T cells are up. I said, look at me. I'm feeling better, They're like, but your T cells are up. I said, listen. I said, you see my arm here? My arm is infected. So I literally had to like this game of like mind and wits with these doctors, and it was like a Seinfeld episode because the one doctor completely agreed that the infection in my arm would raise my T cells. The other doctor said it doesn't matter because if we don't operate, guy could die. I'm like, well, I'm the one that makes that choice, I got a 50-50 choice here. I'm going with the left, and they didn't operate, thank God, because they were going to take my colon and give me a colostomy bag. Yeah. So I was like, yeah, no, thank you.
Wow.
Yeah, and then I couldn't eat any of Poe's delicious sandwiches. Yeah. So I lost weight. Yeah, I changed my diet, stopped drinking a lot, and it's worked. And you know what also is the CBD's been helping me so much. Like I've been using CBD oil, and I think it helps with the metabolism, but it helps with sleep. More than anything, because I sleep much better and I sleep longer, and I don't have to use alcohol to go to sleep now. Do you dream? Yeah, I dream. Yeah, you know what the interesting is? THC actually does the different. Like if you smoke herb before you go to bed, you don't really dream as much because your brain's psychoactive. Like when you use the CBD, your brain actually is an antipsychotic, so kind of slows the brain waves down and kind of allows REM to take place. And you slip into and you I'm telling you, and I have some pretty wicked dreams the last couple months. I'll admit it. Like now that I think about it, I go active. And they're good dreams and you can remember them. So yeah, and then yeah. I mean, we're completely unheard of, and people thought we were absolute crazy. And then we met Crazy Colleen, who was just a kid. Who came up there like, why are you people smoking marijuana at the Liberty Bell? Yeah, and she's like, I like this. So
I did not know she was one of the originals.
She was one of the originals. She showed up at a protest one day, and we were like, who is this young person? And she's like, I love weed. And I'm like, really? And remember I got into a big argument with the cop that day? Yeah, the cop. I was like,
know.
He's
Yeah,
like,
come
I'm
on.
just
We
gotta
need to
investigate. And I was like, people investigate and people go in jail cells because people like you. And you guys were the angry, like completely passive aggressive person, even though they put him in jail for like over a year. You know, yeah, for nothing. But yeah, even at the Liberty Bell, that first time that we got arrested, he was completely nice to the police, and I was not. I was like, the cop's like, do you mind if I search you? I'm like, yes, I mind. You're gonna smoke that? You know, and the weed man's like, they're like, you mind if I search you? He's like, yeah, I do mind if you search me. And the cop's like, well, in that you don't have a choice. Now with me, I had a choice. Now I had the joint in my hand, by the way. I was the one smoking it. They found the joint in my hand. He didn't have a joint in his hand, so they didn't even have a reason to search him. No probable cause even, right? So, yeah, but he did. So. See, right, and then what happened was when they searched him, he actually he outsmarted him. He had a shirt on, a T-shirt underneath his jacket that was a giant middle finger. And when they asked him to take his jacket off, he took his jacket off, and he's like, "You want me to take my sweatshirt off too?" And the cop's like, "Sure." And by the way, it was 20 degrees out. I mean, you could have spit and it would have frozen toward the ground. And Weed Man takes the thing off. He goes, actually, I wanted to. Takes it off, and he exposes this giant middle finger, and he gives the cops the middle finger. And the cop goes, if you keep doing that, you're going to get a disorderly person. And Weed Man goes, this is protected by free speech. And the cop said, that is not protected by free speech. And my attorney, who calls himself the angriest black man in America, Michael Cord, was standing right there, and he's like, no, I'm sorry, officer. Fuck you is constitutionally protected. He could say fuck you and give you the finger whenever he'd like. And the cop said, he can? So here you had two African Americans telling a cop what the Constitution was on grounds that George Washington lived and wrote the Constitution, you know, and enslaved people. And so it was like, yeah, to harvest his hemp. Very good. And he smoked hemp. Yo!
What?
Lynn Washington's in the house. My goodness.
What exactly is the policy here at the THC Temple for smoking cannabis?
What the policy here?
Yes.
Policy is people are allowed to use cannabis.
Right on. Thank you.
Yeah.
Be right back.
There you go. Here, I'll be right back.
What the hell was that?
I'm going to smoke weed, too. I'll be right back.
What does that mean?
The hell?
Wow.
Yo, over here, D. I need that lighter, little guy. Help me to help you. Thank you. My darling, darling baby.
Are you smoking that Keef?
I guess that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to smoke it.
Vape it?
Vape it.
What are you going to do with it?
Fico.
Grab a mic. I can't hear you.
Yeah.
I can't hear what you said. I can't hear you. You don't want to talk?
Okay,
Well,
fine.
don't
Don't fucking talk then. I don't want to talk.
Make up your mind.
I want to talk. I don't want to talk. Get out of here.
That's very antisocial of you. Just saying. That's funny. I think it's funny.
Antisocial. I bet you know that song, right? Little Anthrax. So what's been going on in the canna world, guys? I've been working and shit.
There's a huge bong going around these towns and singing and playing guitar.
Oh, the singing bong. El Kabong.
Kabong.
I saw the video of them scanning the bong. What were they looking for?
They're wanding it for weapons and knives.
Oh, yeah, in a great big cardboard tube.
While an electric wheelchair went through, and it could have had a bomb in there. How are they going to?
That's because we're all crazy pot smokers, and we're going to go around beating each other to death. I mean, that's what the government thinks. I believe they think that way.
They wanted the wheelchair, and they don't know what they're looking for. Like, what about the huge bomb that could be in there? I mean, you have to take the wheelchair apart to actually.
Right, Burrini?
Like
they were
Brielle?
all up in that
Burrini needs
bomb.
some love. Everyone who loves Burrini, raise your hands. Why am I the only one?
Like Brielle?
I'll raise both hands on that one.
You talking about Brielle? They screwed up. They really shit the bed.
How so?
They have no wheelchair access to their police station or their council meeting. So when Jeff Oakes had to walk up those steps with his friggin' tube hanging out of his body,
Chemo bag opening.
And Brian Cummings, who has MS, who could barely make it up those steps.
I love Brian. He's a great guy, man.
We went to that council and gave them a bunch of hell.
Good for you. I'm glad you did, bro.
And the police station is not in the fix. So they're going to spend $1.5 million to fix half the problem in Brielle on a non-fix.
Government at its finest hypocrisy.
Unbelievable. So we're going back there.
Don't scare the hell out of that kid. What's the matter with you?
I think you should wander around the streets of Brielle doing song parodies with El Kabong. I would. How cool would it be if you figured out where the mayor lived and just stood out in front of his house? And that would be.
Sure.
Well, that would be right up your alley, though. You know,
Sure.
We're not doing anything. This is public property. We're not amplified yet. Much.
Much.
Oh man, Jim Miller was mad as hell the other day.
He was
That was
fired up.
beautiful.
Oh man,
That was beautiful.
you do not want to fuck with Jim Miller. He will get you, man. He'll show up at the most
Fucking beautiful.
inopportune times for politicians, but the greatest times for cannabis activists. I love Jim. Great guy.
The picture of him and Sweeney.
That was classic.
Perfect.
Classic. Too bad the lieutenant governor wasn't there. We could really put her toes to the fire. They're fake politicians. They're fake politicians, and I don't know if they're Christian or not. I'm not a Christian.
They claim to be Christians, but they're fake Christians.
Well, they're Christians when it suits their agenda. Other than that, they're capitalist fuckheads.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Well, maybe not capitalists. Let's think of a dirtier term than that. They're like professional cannabaggers, except they have elected to office. How is your buddy, Mayor Reed? The former Mayor Reed.
Sorry.
So sorry.
Sorry.
Wait. Bye-bye, Mayor. Oh, hold on. Fuck you, Reed. I've been wanting to say that for a while.
That's terrible.
Poor guy.
Now, the smart thing to do is, hey, former Mayor Reed, why don't you come on the air and extol or tell us about how very wrong you were for joining this prohibitionist group. You've now seen the light. There's two ways of making money off of cannabis in New Jersey. That's either being for it or against it. Being against it has landed him in some political
Doo-doo.
political butt hurting, job losing kind of thing. I haven't heard a squeak about ramp in quite a while out of Mary Pat and this guy. What do you think, Lefty?
Oh, yeah. That
Dude,
was
get off the
amazing.
computer. What the fuck's wrong with you, man?
That gay porn, he's addicted. He's addicted.
Well, thank God he stopped doing that whole pony thing.
What thing?
Oh, do you want me to out you on the air, dude?
I'm trying to find a song parody to play. Don't you want to hear a song?
I think you should take the song from the Magic Garden, the theme song, and change that.
The never-ending song?
No, the Magic Garden song, you know.
Oh.
Did you ever watch that when you were a kid?
When I was a kid all the time, I used to do bad things to myself to them two women.
Yeah, both of them are 189 and 188 in my spank bank. Just saying.
I also liked that other one with the frog, Henrietta
Hippo.
Yeah.
Oh, new zoo review.
Oh my God.
I can't believe I remembered that.
First time I ever got a boner was to that show. Jesus.
Jeez, you're a late bloomer.
Well, I'm not as old as you. Jesus, I'm like a little bit younger, bro. I was like 6, 7 when I first saw
Your penis?
No.
Oh, sorry.
No, it was a beautiful show.
I haven't seen my penis in a couple of days.
I haven't seen mine. I don't even know I have one. None of the above.
You don't want to implant your penile? You don't want to implant that sucker in somebody?
I don't know. I have no idea what a penile is.
I don't know. It's a play on words.
Don't
It's
play
all
with my
about
penile.
verbiage these days, man.
Verbiage.
It's not what you say.
So you came by yourself? You didn't bring the queen with you?
No, she had a doctor appointment today with
how's
her
she doing?
endocrinologist. She's doing okay. I mean, she's still. As a matter of fact, I'm going to pick up some CBD oil for her because she just spent $50 on a ridiculously small amount of the one. She runs out within a couple of weeks. She uses it, and it primarily she has IBS, and it really, really is effective for that for her. Mm-hmm. But I'd rather get something that a friend of mine stands behind, and it also go on to fund all the good stuff that Mr. Duff is doing here in town. So I'm all about supporting small business and activists, especially Colleen Begley and that cute little baby, Katrina.
Colleen.
Everyone loves Colleen and Katrina. Raise your hands. Woohoo!
Easily.
There they are.
Did you guys order food yet from Pose?
Yes.
We did?
I didn't.
Yes.
Have you?
No.
I ordered one of each.
One of every sandwich he has on his
Yes.
Oh, sweet. Okay.
I ordered one of each.
One of each.
All right. So what are the rest of us gonna eat?
12:30 to 1. It's like fucking 10 subs, guys. Holy shit.
Hey, what are you guys doing tonight? Anything? Why don't you come down to Seaside Heights and go to EJ's? Because Dogs in a Pile,
Oh, nice.
the band that I am working with, is going to be there tonight. I think it's free or $5 or something negligible. Even if you don't have the money, I'll pay for you to get in, or I'll just walk you in. Yeah.
Awesome.
Crickets.
Where's that at?
Seaside.
EJ's Tap House.
EJ's.
It's right on the boardwalk in Seaside Heights. Have a lovely Thursday night show.
Nice.
Rock the place out.
I know where the smoking lounges are. Is it near the smoking areas?
That I'm not sure of. The last time I was at EJ's, it was like 5 degrees below zero, and I was not cruising the boardwalk. Neither were the police, for that matter, so I didn't really have to. I broke the law, but I'll admit it. I really didn't have to go find a smoking area because I think the police were experiencing shrinkage in their cars, and they just couldn't bear to get out and turn into a turtle. Sorry. That's my
Myrtle
personal
the
opinion.
turtle.
Fertile Myrtle Turtle. Somebody's busting some teeth, I can tell. They're coming, right? You're going to have little tiny pieces of rice in there, and you're going to have some chompers. And then before you know it, you're going to be eating bananas and apples and oranges and all kinds of good stuff. Yes. Oh, yes. And before you know it, you're going to have your first Burrinis. Look at them coming in. Oh, look at those big toofers you got there, baby. Before you know it, you're going to be chomping down a big-ass Burrini sandwich.
Before that, anyway, I want to talk about the Burrini balls. Sandwiches, meatballs.
Burrini balls. I
Today
love
we're going to have
Burrini
Luca
balls.
Luca balls. Oh, yeah.
Lucadelic. Lucalicious. Ukulele balls.
Oh, yes.
So how has biz been for you over at Burrini's Old World Market, sir?
It's very good. No complaints. Oh, my God.
Everyone loves Burrini balls.
Has my boyfriend been in?
All the time.
Ooga.
All the time. He's in every weekend.
Ooga.
See, this is what the rich people do in my area, okay? They come to Burrini's and buy their food, and then they take it to the shore for the week.
Oh, that's smart.
Well, because, see, Burrini's is expensive.
Stuff.
Yeah.
We are. But if you go down to the shore, it's shit, and that's expensive.
Yeah, and it's also the status of, like, I brought my Burrini's Old World Market. Let's be honest.
You know what's up.
And how
get it.
How was your trip to the shore this weekend?
It was amazing. We brought some saltwater taffy from the Fudge Kitchen for everybody that's sitting over by the coffee maker.
Awesome.
Yikes.
Cool.
It's
Well-
best saltwater taffy in the world from that place.
If you're a diabetic, that might not be suggestible to eat that. Just saying.
Well, going with tasty cakes. I'm going all out today, man.
Damn, you better
Anyone
check
wants
your
some?
levels, sonny boy.
I'll be shaking like a fish tonight.
Hey, what kind of pound cake is that? Does it have a pound of something in it?
I don't think so. It just weighs like fucking 10 pounds. Should be called 10-pound cake.
Now, is this pound cake from Burrini's Old World Market?
No.
Is it
I don't know where it's from. It's supposed to be some cool place from around here. I don't know. I know nothing. I just eat.
Okay, Schultz. I know nothing. Nothing. Not even a little something.
Stop. It's down the street.
Stocks.
Stocks.
Awesome.
Oh, Stocks. That's cool. I saw somebody in my neighborhood was selling Stocks pound cake for a fundraiser. That's cool.
I can't bring that home because you know what'll happen? I'll eat the whole fucking thing.
On the car ride home.
Yeah, I'll chop it up in the bag and snort it up. Old, and I live in a really bad state. I couldn't believe on the way over here I was listening to 101.5. They are some elitist assholes there. They're talking about how we're having a free Narcan day. You can go to a shit ton of pharmacies and get Narcan for free, and they're trying to lampoon it. And it just came
I think
off.
it's wrong.
You know, I stopped
don't.
listening to them when they made the derogatory comments about our attorney general. And
come on.
Dennis and Judy just got like a little suspension slap on the wrist. That's
Dennis,
it. I was out.
Dennis and Judy elitist.
It's always like anti-pot and anti-brown people comments, and I just kind of, that was it. That was like the breaking point for me with them.
Well, I mainly listen to them for like weather and traffic reports and sometimes the news. However, it just inflamed me. I don't know if anyone's been around anyone who's died from a heroin overdose. I've been around several. And I understand their point, but that doesn't mean I agree with what they're saying. Oh, they're going to have parties where people are going to overdose and they'll give each other Narcan. And I'm like, are you kidding me? I don't think they understand how Narcan works. You immediately go into withdrawal right on the spot. And it don't go away for a couple hours. So it's not like you can do Narcan and go shoot up 5 more bags of dope. It just wouldn't work.
Well,
it blocks those receptors.
I don't know. The good thing to me about Narcan is,
I'm
not against giving them out. I'm against heroin. That's what I'm against.
I'm against opiates big time. I think there's a better way. Cannabis is one of them.
And Narcan, if that could save somebody's life who's ODing, that's a good thing.
I think.
I mean,
I really do. I believe
you save a fucking life. I mean, it's a no-brainer.
You know, like the way they were talking though is like, I think they were missing the point. Like, okay, yeah, there might be a certain amount of people out there who get Narcan. You know, let's say they get Narcan and they go right back to what they're doing. Hey, man, I get it. But what if it's that one time that it actually takes them out of an overdose and they snap out of it and just for a moment get that moment of clarity where they see what the fuck they're doing and they decide to make a change. That's the part I think they really overlooked, and it just aggravated me. Or
who cares if it gives them a change?
Who cares if it?
Yes, if it could save their life, that's to me that's 100 times more important.
Oh, I'm saying as
what I mean?
as an extra added bonus, they may be able to have that.
There you
but
go.
More importantly,
productive life.
Their tongue is no longer purple. Their lips are blue. They're not white, and they start breathing again. I think that's really important for fucking anybody. It just aggravates me that people who are on the radio talking all this smack. It just bothered me, man, and I just disagree with their. Well, right on. Another Narcan. I'll carry this with me. This is very simple to use, y'all. There is a definite procedure to using these. First thing is you do a chest rub. If you find the person and they're unconscious,
play with their
try
titties?
and revolve. I'm telling you how I was trained to do it. You find someone overdosing. First thing you do is you do a chest rub like this.
Oh, this is a chest rub.
Well, that's not the kind that's going to wake people up.
Okay, Jesus.
So you do that, and if there's no response, you check their vital signs. If they're not breathing or their breathing is shallow, check their pulse. Look at their if their eyes are dilated and staring off into nothing. Chances are they're like this close to fucking kicking the bucket. It's very simple to do. That's it. And also, something that helps after you squirt it up their nostrils is you sort of like work it into their nose, because the way this works is it passes through the mucous membrane in your nose and goes directly into the bloodstream, much like cocaine or anything else. But what this does is it blocks the receptors in your brain and in your body, lasts for 2 to 3 minutes, and you're going to see, they're not going to jump up and do the Irish jig, I'll tell you that. But their eyes will start fluttering, they'll get color comes back in their face. It was a couple years ago that my neighbor died right across the hall from me. I did not have Narcan because it just wasn't around in this form anyway, where people were carrying it with them. But first thing the police did when they got there is they did exactly what I just described. Chest rub, checked his vitals, looked at his eyes, gave him the Narcan. He didn't come out of it. By then, the EMTs arrived, and unfortunately, poor Danny was already gone. But just from my own experience, prior to them getting there, I had to clear his airway. He had vomited. I leaned him on his side, emptied out as much as I could, cleared his airway, tilted his head back, pinched his nose, start doing CPR compressions. Denise was helping me. She also did compressions. We were counting until the police officer arrived. The best thing you can do if you're in that situation, you call 911, is when the police arrive, get the fuck out of their way and let them do what they need to do. And that's crucially important. Yes, you can be upset, you can be a screaming Mimi or whatever, but do not distract them from what they're attempting to do and save a life. And that is my big Narcan fucking thing. Get them. They're going to be free.
Get them while they're hot.
These will be free at your local pharmacy on the 19th of this month in New Jersey. Do your friends and family a favor. Do a stranger a favor. Be that good Samaritan and carry this with you because you never, ever know when someone's going to fall out. And you can save a life, restart a life. It isn't so much getting them out of an overdose. It's restarting their life, giving another opportunity to maybe change, maybe see a different way of living. What do you think, Burrini?
I tell you, I think, whatever. My beef with the heroin and all that shit is, you felt it. When it comes to weed, oh my God, get on the ground. They got their boots on your freaking chest, on your head. You know, they strip search you and shit. But man, you get busted for heroin, it's a different story. You know, it's like, hey, you know what? I'm going to turn around, and if you happen to have anything in your pocket, you could just throw it in the trash. And
ever happened where they told me to throw away a Schedule I narcotic ever?
Police do it now.
Do they?
Wow. Police do it now.
They're not doing anyone.
Only with heroin.
I guess they are doing.
I seen a dude. If I would have had, I would have used it on him. Cops ended up coming in. This dude had 3 more bags of heroin on him. Cops come in, and that's exactly what they said. They're like, yo, what happened? I'm like, I think this guy's like, ODing on heroin right now.
Yikes.
And I'm like, I asked him if he had any. So then this dude, like, he was out on the ground. Like, if I would have had Narcan, I would have given it to him. And the cops were like, yo, hey, the new law in New Jersey is, if you have anything in your pocket, throw it out. We're going to turn around, throw it in the trash, and we'll help you. We'll send you to the hospital. Kid never caught a charge.
Good for him.
Good for him. Fuck that. It was a dime bag of weed. Holy shit.
Well, they would have strip searched him on the side of the road like that poor good kid down south.
Yeah, they
got
took
one
all
hell of a
his
lawsuit
money.
Now.
They
That's
penetrated
my butthole.
Him. You're entering my rear. That is my anus.
Cornholio.
Well, they put my brother-in-law in drug court, and I always said that was a sham.
Drug court's is kind of a setup.
It's a setup. They're going to get more money out of you before they kill you. And that's what happened to my brother-in-law. They just got some more money out of him, and then he's actually doing. They're very busy at school, plays, baseball games, and stuff. So that's a good thing. Yeah, but it's really sad. The guy was 47 years old.
Damn, 47. Holy shit.
Younger than us.
You know what's really sad? Tomorrow I have to go. I don't have to, but I am going to a friend of mine. Big Ed Corbliss. I worked with Big Ed for a really long time, doing security and running festivals and stuff. He was 45 years old, and he dropped dead from a heart attack.
Wow.
Yeah, it's just sad. That whole thing, anyone passing away, is sad.
And it starts with the doctors. They had him hooked on Demerol or one of those narcotics, and then he starts doing heroin after that. And that's just a downward spiral. And he was clean for a while, and who knows what happens?
As part of your terms of us not throwing you in jail, you have to go to these meetings or you have to go see a professional because you have a disease called addiction.
Yeah.
And it's really in medical books. Look it up. It's pretty easy to find. But yet, if you relapse while you're on parole, back in jail, why is it a disease we don't treat like a real disease?
Yeah.
I would love to see a lawsuit come up where someone sues the hell out of some state for that. Well, this is a disease. It's incurable. It's progressive. It'll kill you.
Well, now it's a disease.
And if I relapse because of my illness, you're going to punish me for it instead of helping me or, getting me into a detox or something that would be beneficial. We're just going to throw you back in jail. You can detox in there. Listen, folks, when you go to jail and you're strung out, pressure pill. That'll keep your blood pressure kind of low. And other than that, you're going to suffer, lose 20 pounds. And it's just a horrible thing. Our criminal justice system is so skewed. It's barbaric, really. hey, man, if you're like a criminal, you run around hurting people, robbing stuff, hey, man, you screwed up.
Yeah,
You killed somebody or you beat someone half to death. Or you stole, you stole all their possessions. I think there should be some punitive damages. I don't see where that plays into it. To me, it's institutionalized abuse of people who are incredibly vulnerable for the most part. Geez, I'm on my soapbox today, aren't I?
Yeah.
I like the fentanyl strips that they give out now. They cost $1.
Fentanyl
you take
strips.
these fentanyl strips and you put them in your heroin to see if there's fentanyl in it.
Yes, the test strips.
It's a test strip for fentanyl.
They're very similar to like checking the pH on something.
Yeah.
Very, very easy to use. They should be accessible.
More accessible and free.
Way more accessible.
And free.
Well, it would be really cool if New Jersey was a little bit more progressive and thought about having safe injection sites where people could do that. And those are given to you for free. I know that's a controversial issue, but if you think about it, the way communicable diseases are spread are through bodily fluids, blood being one of them.
Yeah, I think you got to try anything at this point. I was against Suboxone, but from what I hear from other addicts, Suboxone is helpful in some ways. But I had a problem when I was on my opiate thing for my back. I couldn't get off the Suboxone. It was hard. I got off the Breakthrough Roxy's easier than the Suboxone.
Well, what happened to me when I have multiple sclerosis, folks. Could never tell, but I do. When I was all strung out on fed meds by the doctors, I got Suboxone.
Methadone.
Well, no methadone. No. I did that shit when I was younger. Fuck that. You want to talk about slavery? I don't know if everyone knows this, but the word addict is really a Latin word, and it means slave. And I can't think of a better way of describing what it's like to be on that stuff. But getting back to what you were saying about Suboxone, is the way it's prescribed by these doctors. It's like it's like killing the goose that lays the golden egg. You get your business keeps coming back because they're deathly afraid of getting sick. So they'll keep you on Suboxone almost indefinitely. It's uncomfortable, but the way that I did it, I'm not recommending everyone do this or anyone do this, but this is what worked for me when I finally made the decision. I cannot live like this one moment longer. I have to do something. Anything was better than the way I was living. I took the Suboxones. I did it for about 2 weeks, and I started cutting them in half, which is not recommended by the manufacturer or any doctor, and I weaned myself off of that. Did it suck? Absolutely. Was I uncomfortable? Not so much as I would have been if I went cold turkey. But it worked, and it took just a little bit of willpower and lots and lots and lots of cannabis.
You could have.
I'm not exactly certain. It's a standard Suboxone dosage that comes in a little blue and white packet. You rip the top off. And I weaned myself off of it. And the reason why I did that is I had a whole bunch of friends who had been on Suboxone for years.
Right.
And they're like, my one friend Steve's like, if I don't take it exactly at 8 p.m., by 8:30, I can't even get off the couch. My body's in muscle spasms and I'm in withdrawal. And to me, it's almost worse than narcotics itself in a way, because they're explaining it as some kind of cure or bridge to recovery, but there's no follow through on it. I mean, doctors are ill-informed. Some of them are greedy fucks. Okay, great. I don't want to get arrested and have my license pulled for giving out an undue amount of narcotic painkillers. But boy, I can shovel this shit out the window all day long and charge everyone $150 walking in the door. Right. It's the same thing. They just switch modalities on how to make money. It's disgusting what they do. It's like I've said often. It is like drawing water out of a sewer of misery, and shame on you.
Pat's got the bomb.
Be realistic.
You know, the war on drugs, what I equate the war on drugs to?
Let's hear it.
Trying to stop drugs, trying to stop the flow of drugs into America is like standing under Niagara Falls with a bucket and trying to stop the leak. Just not going to work. You know what I mean? Especially when the U.S. government is the one with the fucking waterfall. Okay?
Yeah. They own the waterfall.
They are the waterfall. They have really large guns. And how do you stop? Okay, here's a good one. How do you stop drugs coming from the pharmacy?
Well,
Right? How do you stop drugs coming from Kensington? Because they don't even enforce the law around the corner from here.
Yeah, I see that.
People openly shoot up in the street. You know? It's literally, I'm not kidding. There are certain zones, like seconds from here, that it's like, it looks like The Walking Dead. You know? You'd think there's a fucking yoga class going on, but it's just people all whacked out, you know? If they were in unison, it would be a little bit more, you know, you'd think it might be yoga, but everybody's doing their own kind of thing. They're all kind of leaning up against each other. There's a cop walking right by. Somebody's literally putting a needle in their arm as he's walking by.
And what drug is that? Heroin usually?
Heroin and fentanyl.
Fentanyl.
Yeah. So, I mean, most heroin is, you know, not even heroin anymore because they need such a minute portion of fentanyl to make the person whacked out of their mind. They just cut it with whatever. So now people are taking stuff they have no idea what it is. You know? And they don't care.
Right.
You know?
Right.
That's the sad part. Yo, what is that Narcan?
Yes.
Yeah, see, I mean, like we're in the zone for it, you know.
Can we push this shit back?
Go ahead.
There you go. You feel more comfortable now?
Now you can.
Yeah, that's better for out here too. 'Cause you get a little more room out here.
Now I could like freaking chill. Yeah, man.
Yeah, but seriously, like with Narcan, here's a good example. You know, I want to tell everybody something out there in the listening audience.
Tell us, Reverend.
That the word Narcan itself can act almost as good as Narcan if the person on heroin hears the word. Because when they're all whacked out, they don't want to sometimes come out of that. And they get mad if they're not dying and you hit them with Narcan and you take them out of their high.
Yeah.
And literally sometimes people get up swinging at people because they took them out of their high. Give you Narcan and all of a sudden, no. So, seriously, the word Narcan works as it's like the trigger word for somebody who is like just chilling because they don't want to lose their high. So if they're dead, they ain't gonna do nothing. At that point, maybe use the word Narcan once or twice more, and then you can kick their leg. And if they're not doing anything, you give them a little Narcan. But I will tell you, just having this in my hand kind of makes you feel kind of powerful. You know, imagine that 1,200 people died in Philadelphia last year. You could have saved one of them with this little tiny thing. You know, so
crazy.
What is that? What's Sexy D's?
It's where Lefty gets his dildos.
Do you get your dildos there?
Yes. It's an adult toy store online.
It's hurtful.
Do you guys advertise for them?
The dude who was taking his clothes off, that's him.
He's Sexy D?
Shh.
That's Sexy D.
That's Sexy D himself. Yeah. Does the D stand for anything?
Use your imagination.
Sexy dicks. I don't know.
I'm just saying.
I'm not in that business.
Well, you have
Does
a card.
Did he say he sells dildos and stuff?
Oh, he sells them. Go to sexyds.com.
He's got dildos here.
Sexy D's? No, he doesn't bring them with him.
Think he brought some rods with him?
Did you ever buy one, Wayne?
No, I haven't. Sorry.
Not yet.
Do you ever think about a dildo bong? Like how that would work?
Did you hear about the girl?
Yeah. I think you posted that.
She was taking the bong hits out of her butt.
I have to find that story. Hold on.
The entire I think concert did a bong hit out of her bunghole.
They actually shut her down when she wanted to use both holes. That's when they were like, nah, that's just too much.
They were using her twat as a carb. Sir, those holes aren't attached.
There was a little gap there. We call it the gooch.
Taint. It's the taint. Taint ass and taint pussy. Sorry, there's a woman in the house. Sorry.
Sorry. Yes.
She's a live artist, and she recently went to an unnamed music festival.
Unnamed.
And had the experience of a lifetime when she had dozens of people smoke out of a bong that had been placed in her butt.
Oh, yes.
Wow.
That sounds like, what's his face, our very own Supreme Court Justice. Right? Didn't he place something in his anus and boof beer or something?
She says, one guy told me the next day that he hadn't smoked weed for 20 years, but he knew he needed to do it out of my butt no matter what. Wow.
Yeah, I was thinking it's been 20 years since I smoked anything, so the butt bong would probably be the best thing to go out of.
Wow.
You eat it.
That's
The butt bomb.
wow.
I'm kind of. I could have been there. I'm kind of upset I didn't go. Oh yeah.
That 8-foot bong that Mikey wears, we're gonna make that into a real bong, and actually smoke cannabis out of Mikey's head. What? Yeah, yeah. We're not kidding. We're escalating this more. Yeah, we're gonna make Mikey actual bong.
Should we?
We're putting an air mattress inflator, like we had at Marley's party, an air mattress inflator with some tinfoil on the thing that he already has, and just smoke out his bong, and you could just take hits off the top.
Would you guys like to hear?
It'll be fun.
Would you guys like to hear some of the updates about our lovely friend Mayor Reed?
Mayor Reed, who's that?
Mayor Reed.
Reed for Madness.
Reed for Madness, former mayor, soon to be former Mayor Reed.
Who's that?
Stephen D. Reed. The owner of Stephen D. Reed Associates, a lobbying firm.
Oh, the landfill guy.
Yeah, landfill.
Oh,
for lobbyists.
yeah, that guy, the shithole guy.
Yes.
Yeah, that guy.
So Mr. Reed just had a little incident happen where he lost his election by over 20 points to another fellow lobbyist named Paul Canitri. Yeah, over 200 votes, literally, which is probably one of the biggest. It's the biggest poundings anybody's taken since.
Wayne.
Hey yo. No, but seriously. So Mayor Reed. Here's the deal with Mayor Reed. Mayor Reed had a little incident happen right before election. A newspaper article ran that showed the township had to pay my lawyer $4,000 for a lawsuit that I had filed against them, and it didn't do too good for him the next day because he lost in the election. Now, Mayor Reed went from having assembly hopes to the 10th seat. Then to having hopes again to be the mayor again, now to being not the mayor, and the Lord is okay to me.
I don't know. Just say, "Oh yeah." Sometimes if you don't pay it no mind, it never happens.
It's okay to me.
You give me the shortest freaking cord for real?
Maxie, would you be interested in being interviewed on the radio for a little bit or on the podcast here?
I have to go.
Yeah, but it's only for a little bit. And I'm going to walk away and then I'll let them interview you about your time here or about yourself.
You work here?
No.
No.
Give her a mic. You got to take the microphone.
Okay.
People can't hear you. You got to take that seat in the microphone.
You hang out here?
Do like 5 minutes.
Perfect.
Wait, what's your name and what are you doing here? We'll start there.
What's your name? Why are you here?
Yeah, why are you here? What's your name?
Let's go.
What? Not in that order.
You look like you play the piano.
No, I don't play piano. I draw a lot.
Nice.
Oh shit, I was not prepared for this. My name is Maxie.
Hi, Maxie.
Maxie.
I'm Lefty.
Maxie.
I am Maxie.
You are?
No. What was the name of that?
It was my name forward and backward. I like palindromes. So.
You're the one that does the art.
Yeah.
Which ones?
The busts of the Virgin Mary over there.
Get out of here. That's you.
Yeah.
Wow.
The carved ones and the painted
Yo, bring one of those over here, por
Okay.
favor. I'm a Catholic. Sorry.
Kind of art in college about my my mother not loving me.
Is that sacrilege? I don't know. That's kind of.
If it's not blessed, there's a pass on that.
I mean, that's a Day of the Dead kind of thing going on.
I
there.
like it. It's different.
The thing with religious statues is that in the Bible, it's a graven image to begin with. The statue of Mary is a graven image. We're not supposed to have that.
This
We're
shit.
not supposed to have that anyway.
Okay.
So by you doing that is
this
not a
ain't
big deal.
Liquid Church, bro.
By you
Stop
doing
it.
that is okay with Jesus.
Don't knock my religion because we like Mary statues, bro. Even Mikey V likes Mary statues. He likes to pee on them. Okay, so hey, you know,
It's a
what
graven
people
image. It's a graven image. It's look it
So
up.
You're a graven image.
Look
when
it
you
up.
take your shirt off.
Look it up.
We still like you. But whatever. So this is what you do.
That's cool.
That,
It is. It's
That's
That is-
something that I have done. That's
me
not
see
what I
this.
do.
What do you mean? It's
I want to show the camera this.
It means that I make a lot of different kinds of art.
an
and that
artist.
just happens to be the thing that sits on a shelf nicely for other people to look at.
Closer to the camera there.
Me.
Yeah, I kind of like that because I have no problem with
Neither do I.
Yeah.
Did I say I did?
You're a Catholic. You're supposed to have a problem with that because you're supposed to pray to that.
And Catholics think that if you're not Catholic, you're going to hell. Come on.
You pray to the St.
Only
Peter.
Catholics are going to make it.
You pray to all these other things.
Well, no, it's different. We don't
pray to statues.
to them. No. You see, you're getting it all wrong, bro.
Yeah, you do. You kind of do.
They're called intercessors. All right, look up at the goddamn word, and you'll see. Understand, okay?
Look what you started, Maxie.
Right,
no, she didn't start it. You did.
No, I think it's a great conversation.
I didn't start anything.
I'm kidding.
I told her I love her art.
I'm kidding.
If I had a problem with it, I'd be like, "Yo, your art sucks." I like it.
Fine.
The Day of the Dead.
I like that. But you know what? Some Catholics probably would have a problem with that.
Screw
they really
them, man.
would. They really would. But
screw them if they don't know how to. It's art.
It is art.
It's not religion.
It's very
art.
cool art. There's a bunch of them over here.
What do you think about it in context of me just making a lot of art about my mother not loving me?
It is what it is.
Yeah, tell me about that. What's going on there?
Well, let me tell you. So you asked me earlier why I'm here.
Yeah.
Why are you here?
I wandered in by accident.
Today?
What?
No, just a few weeks ago.
Wow.
And
okay. Right on.
And so Pat told me that I could come whenever I wanted. And when someone gives me an offer like that, I take it up.
Hell yeah, you take
and
that
I
offer.
have sat here for more hours than most people because I would bring my computer. He allows me to work, and then I'll sit for 5 to 6 hours.
Oh, okay.
And it's only been a few weeks, but I had a really isolated life, and I didn't, have many friends. And
Where are you from? Philly?
Yeah, I live like a block away.
Oh, okay.
So instead of being at home, depressed and alone, I would come in here and sit. And I've met like a lot of people, and I mean the generosity that I've like seen him do with me, other people, is just like it's profound for me.
Yeah.
It's really important for me to be accepted somewhere and feel comfortable.
That's awesome.
I mean, so I've been here as much as I can, and he put my work up, and he already said I could put other artwork up here, and I haven't shown my artwork in 8 years, maybe.
Wow.
So that's the first time anyone's seen any of my stuff since like
really
my last show in 2012.
Do you have a website or anything?
No, I have the Instagram that I, told you guys that you guys aired earlier. I don't post anything on there. It's just a collection of like my friends' eyeballs and some drawings that I've done. And
that's a ball, an eyeball?
Oh, no.
I thought that was a nipple.
No, I mean on my Instagram, I have a collection of people's eyes.
Oh, cool.
I have
okay.
Collection of etchings I've done, and a collection of, just a lot of images. I like to collect images.
Nice.
Right. Let's try this.
So what's the story? Do you
hold on
want to talk about that story?
I have a massage at 1,
okay.
and it's 6 minutes away, but I haven't had any, I really need that relief because I'm trying to address my overall satisfaction with life, and a lot of that is starting here.
I go to alternative therapy too. I got acupuncture, cupping, massage.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
I mean, I've done so much. I've done every. I mean.
You have bad back or anything like that?
No, it's all emotional shit.
Okay, it is helpful for that.
Yeah.
They'll probably put the pins, like if you have acupuncture, they probably put them all over to relax you, all over your head, your neck, your ears. It's very interesting.
How about CBD?
Yeah, the CBD's helped a lot. I mean, the THC changed my fucking life. I apologize. It has changed my
awesome.
life. I didn't start smoking it until basically January, but more heavily maybe March. And I mean, my life is just a lot different now than it was a few months ago, and it's because I'm taking like emotional risks, because I feel more comfortable in my skin, because of the finally a medicine that wasn't like a pharmaceutical that is providing actual relief to my body and well-being.
Yes.
What
they have you on before?
Everything. I mean, for 12 years, I tried every like antidepressant and antipsychotic and Xanax, Abilify, shaking, gaining weight.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, everything. Like
interactions with other drugs probably. It's probably made you just really sick. Oh my God, it's Nicky Allen Poe. I haven't seen this guy.
All right.
All right. Real quick, what is your Instagram again?
3, 2, 1. IXAMAXI 1, 2, 3.
Wow.
Ixam-xe.
Oh, okay.
I just like palindromes, so it's not really the best for spouting out verbally. I realize I haven't done that until today.
There you go. Just look for the eyeballs. That's her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll post it somewhere.
Sweet. Thank you.
Yeah, you got to sell those.
Your art's pretty cool.
Yeah, you got to sell those somewhere because that's
How much
cool
are
stuff.
those things over there? Those heads of...
It's negotiable, but I have them marked from 40 to 125, and then there's one that's $2,000.
Wow.
My.
Maybe Poe will buy that one from me. He's rich like that now. He's got a restaurant.
But only because it has sentimental value.
Thank you. We appreciate your time.
Enjoy your massage. That's what they tell me. Enjoy your massage.
Well, because, it'd be nice, you know. But I hope to run into you again. Why, thank you.
Thank you.
Take care, hon. Peace.
Maxie. Wow. Cool stuff, man.
Yeah, we got the big Poe in the house.
Big Poe. I haven't seen Poe in forever.
I know, man.
We went to his restaurant the one time and he wasn't there, but we bought food anyway.
Well, he wasn't there because, when you have a business...
You're busy.
Exactly.
He was at the bank. He tells everybody, I'm at the bank.
Well, hey,
that's a great thing to say. Tell everybody when they're looking for me, I'm at the bank.
That's a great problem.
Yeah. He's at the bank again. He's always at the bank. Why is Poe always at the bank?
Making that money.
Yeah.
Guap till you drop.
He's at the bank or he's over here smoking THC or CBD.
CBD, because they don't allow any THC to be smoked on premise.
Right. That's
for
right.
that matter, anything you've seen on camera today was 100% CBD.
Yeah, it was pretty
hemp.
good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
So
it was totally
everybody, don't be jumping to conclusions because you're believing and you're feeding into the bullshit. This is a safe place where we are allowed to smoke or ingest CBD products that are organically made. They're being sold right here at the THC Temple in Philly on Frankfurt Avenue, I believe, or street. So come on down and get yourself some medicine. Try this. It can't hurt you. A lot of it is so funny because people come up to me and they're like, "So is this CBD stuff dangerous? This pot thing?" And I'm like, "Well, listen, pal. All human beings have something called an endocannabinoid system. I don't hear that they have an ibuprofen endocannabinoid system or any of these other drugs. So, yes, this stuff is 100% safe, grown legally here in the United States, and organically. So you have no nasty trace chemicals. It's grown up in the mountains in Vermont. It's absolutely gorgeous. I was just up there a week ago for a few days because I was working, visited a hemp field. It was amazing, dude. I mean, standing in the middle of that field, seeing hemp as far as you could almost see was like something out of an 8th grade daydream in algebra class. It was awesome. I highly suggest everyone do it.
Yo, I got your next tune. Instead of strawberry fields, hemp fields forever.
Hemp fields. Cannabis fields forever.
There you go. Can you remember that?
I smoke so much my eyes are closed.
Yeah, write that down. Write that down quick.
Let's go.
Or you should do Comfortably Numb. That would be a good one. I have become comfortably dumb.
Oh, boy.
Jeez, I've been missing out on all these fun podcasts. I mean, my life's been very busy.
Yeah, I guess so. I haven't seen you in a while, bro.
It's just been busy. I'm working. I have my own company, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Mama Tried Productions, yo. I produce concerts and book bands and travel around the country extolling the virtues of cannabis. I go around the country and try not to piss people off. I've been unsuccessful with that. I'm trying. I'm so militant about what we're doing, what we're trying to achieve. I'm so tired of playing nice with these assholes because they're not playing nice with us. Hey, if you come at me nice, I'll be nice. You come at me like a shithead, you're going to meet that other side of me.
You get the bong. You get the big red bong.
I will sick El Kabong on you. He will show up at your workplace singing songs about the virtues of cannabis consumption. So don't mess with me. I know El Kabong personally. I even know his phone number. And he would just love to do something like that. So, if you got a boss who's being a shithead, El Caban could come by and school him.
Does requests.
Yeah.
Oh, man. We should have El Caban parties.
They already do.
Not?
I don't know you talk. They already do, bro. They get the fucking newspapers following them. They got 101.5 following them.
Yeah. These
Got
guys are running
NJ.com.
around the state because they want pot. I can't believe
That's
that
right.
they're calling it pot. Pot.
Better than dope.
They're looking for pot.
Better than
Or they
marijuana.
say that other word, the M word, which is a racial disparaged. Ugh, whatever. It's cannabis, folks. Hashtag cannabis is normal. Been normal for a long time, except with Lefty. Look at him. The she-male that he is.
Hurtful.
Leave Herm alone.
Leave Hermie alone.
Hurtful.
Hurtful. Do you feel butthurt?
Yes.
Has Burrini shit raped you recently?
No, I'm
Oh, yeah,
done.
thank you.
Oh.
Thank you.
I'm done. I haven't. It's been like
Yes,
fucking
no,
a month.
I got
It's been a month.
Yeah,
you must be
it's-
very constipated, Wayne.
Nah, he cries like a little girl. I can't take it no more. I can't take it.
Well, I don't know.
He's,
Well, you should find another victim of that.
I trust me. I
I've got a whole crew.
I do. I have a group. Shit.
Hey, you guys, you're never going to believe how big this turd is. Look at this shit.
Well, actually, you know, I make masterpieces.
That's like fucking a good fucking.
Look at that. Look.
2 foot of shit right there. That's like holy shit. Say goodbye. Let's see how it flushes. Uh-oh. Here we go, loop-dee. It's gone. Bubbles and all.
See, that was the
that
last one I sent you.
That was awful.
That's
Wayne
disgusting.
pooped out a baby arm and had to show everyone. You're so proud of yourself, aren't you, Wayne?
Hey, it ain't easy.
It ain't easy being cheesy, man.
It ain't easy. Imagine being a baby wipe after that. That one's done.
Oh, God, the visual of that. No, there's a whole bunch of goodies over there, and we can't just abandon the show.
We got Poe right out the door there. You got to come in here, Poe.
Yeah. Hey,
Yeah,
Poe,
Poe.
why don't
He's
you...
having a conversation out
Hey.
there. You should have it with us.
Hey, Poe, come on in here, man. Everyone wants to meet you from New Jersey, and damn,
Ladies and
Poe, the
gentlemen.
legendary
Go stick the
cannabis
mic out there.
activist.
Go listen to what they're talking about. Go tell them we're going to eavesdrop on
Do
them.
you have one
What?
that's
How are the
long enough?
eavesdropping laws in PA? What are they like?
I don't know. I'm not
Go
from
find
PA.
out. Go find
I
out.
can't do that.
Go stick the mic out there.
I'm not sticking my mic out there.
Stick the mic out there. Wayne, somebody stick a mic out there. You got long enough?
That's not long enough. I think Rich has the longest one.
You got the biggest
Yes,
one.
I do.
Oh,
As a
you
matter of fact,
sure
I got the
do.
longest one. No, not this time, though. I bet you Lefty has the longest one. No, he's got a shorty.
Oh, shit. Now I'm like playing Twister with the chords and shit. Okay. Anyway.
Sounds kinky. Shit twister. Ooh.
Yeah, that
There's
is-
a new variation to your shit raping, man. We're going to play shit twister, everyone.
Oh, yeah.
So have you ever clogged your toilet doing that, Wayne?
I have a shit knife. It's a real thing. You think I'm kidding?
What is it, like a hanger?
No, it's like
you do shit abortions,
it's like
too.
That's
It's
awful.
not even funny. They're not.
That's terrible. I'm sorry. That slipped out.
A shitardist.
Shortest.
A shardist. Hey, does everyone know what a shard is? Shardist?
The shortest.
Well,
It's one
you know
who
what
shards.
sharding is.
Shit artist.
Well, actually, sharding is when you feel like you're going to fart, but you shit yourself. So you shart. Yeah, kind of.
Well,
And anyone who said that they've never heard of that or experienced, well, if anyone
a
says
lie.
they never experienced that, you're
That's a
lying.
not since I
Lying
was
is
3.
bad. Jesus doesn't like liars.
But I was 3.
Oh, it only happened once, right?
Just once.
Man, it happened to me last week. Yesterday. It happened this morning. I left like a trail like a slug to our apartment. It was terrible.
He said a slug through the apartment.
Yeah.
Like a Mr. Gary.
No, more like a wet Mr. Hanky. Where that hoe at? I'm the speedy hoe.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding? Yo, get Poe's ass in here. Get Reverend Duff and Poe.
We need the good Reverend and Mr. Poe,
Reverend
please.
and Poe.
Paging Reverend and Poe.
We're having our introductory meeting. We actually got to meet.
You never met?
No, we never met.
Oh, you guys never met?
Yeah, come on, man.
Oh, shit. Wow.
Two titans of cannabis have never met.
Wow.
This is N.A. Poe.
N.A. Poe.
I know.
This guy. Let's give him a proper introduction.
Well, he's the reason why we can smoke cannabis in Philly right now.
Yeah.
It's true.
It's true.
Yeah, that's my favorite part of the whole entire thing is being able to sit out front of my shop, or I'm walking to the subway and there's a bunch of people in front of me, smoking bones. Just that smell in Philly of weed on the street and that lack of fear of doing that is just become kind of the most rewarding part of that, because I own a fucking restaurant and I walk outside of the restaurant and I light up a bone, and like, does it sometimes people still, raise an eyebrow? Like, yeah, but like my eyebrow isn't raised, and that's just kind of like, out of everything we've done, all the bullshit, all the stuff was borderline egomaniacal, and all the stuff that was about my face and whatever, that is the best. That's the best thing, and it's the longest term reward, because I think that we've created a scene and a market in Philadelphia where we don't really give a shit what's going on with the state of cannabis anymore, because that decriminalization for us was like the ace in the hole. And, you're seeing a lot now with like, the black market in Philly. You're seeing $40 to $50 top shelf, black market, eighths on the street. And now that I'm just a consumer, it's great to be able to say, not go to the dispensary, and to be able to say, hey, like, I got 5 or 6 different kinds of great weed, in here, and there's just the pressure of having no police involved with marijuana, and also having a restaurant in the exact same district where I was arrested, and being able to essentially, at the end of the day, be like pardoned. I just got off of probation, 4 years of probation. I got off after 1 year, So, I mean, I'm not asking for reparations. I want 40 acres of pot and a fucking and a Siamese cat. That's what I want, is reparation. So I want a reparation. So hey, like I was just saying to Pat outside, I started Poe 9 years ago in my dad's basement with a microphone and a fucking dream, and 9 years later I'm sitting here with a fucking restaurant and a kid. So like, you can't plan your life. You can. I mean, there's people that work towards like a fucking degree and then they become that. But for a guy like me, I got into this with a microphone and a dream. I've been through a lot, bunch of arrests, a bunch of different shit, a bunch of accomplishments, highs and lows. And here I am with a fucking baby in a fucking restaurant. So,
Yeah, congrats, man. That's all.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Now, if we say that shit, we get in trouble.
Yeah, because that's correct. It's just like being like part of a team. Certain things.
You guys are on a team now, huh?
Yeah, we've both been. We're number one.
What do you call that team?
We've both been arrested at the Liberty Bell several
right.
times smoking cannabis. Right?
Yeah.
We both went to federal court for it, right? Probably both the only two people. So two of 4 people probably ever been put on federal probation for a joint.
Me, you, Chris.
Yeah, and New Jersey Weed Man.
True.
Right? So, I mean, that's kind of, and then we have Asian babies.
We do.
So,
And I always thought that like Asians were like talking about everyone, and guess what? Now I know that they're talking about everyone. They're very insular society, but I've learned a lot about the structure of Asians. I've also learned like the Asian hierarchy, like how it kind of goes down. We won't get into that too much, but I love the Asians.
Yeah, well, my wife's from Thailand, and if you go to Thailand, they call all the foreigners farang, which means foreigner, and kind of it's the thing, like their country's just so used to having foreigners in there that they kind of nicknamed every foreigner farang. So, and they're not really talking bad about you. That's just a part of their culture. And but what I think it's cool is my son actually is a dual citizen. He's a citizen of Thailand and of America because his mommy's from Thailand.
Yeah, well, my mother-in-law was living with us for a couple months, and she was playing. Like, this is my thing with my kid, is I'm not going to be fucking listening to Barney songs or, like, any of that bullshit. My kid's into, like, Bowie, Queen, Radiohead, a couple other things. But for cartoons, we've been playing in these like Korean cartoons like in the morning, and they're funny because like you're not like, you know, Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. They all have like this like nationalist. It's like don 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 don. The leader doesn't poop. You know what I mean? Like shit like that. You know. But he's you know, definitely headed towards being like, you know, hey, he's a Jew, Asian, fucking Italian kid. You know, there's a lot of great cultural things from Koreans, Italians, and Jewish culture, and I just like happy that he, you know. Because I always said the world should just like, we should all fuck each other till we're all one color, and then you can just like shut the fuck up about it. And I feel like I've done my part.
Yeah, I
I
agree
feel like
about
I've done
that.
my part at this point. Yeah.
My ex-wife was from Brazil, so I tried to do it there. It just didn't work. So I got one from Thailand.
I don't like white girls either, bro. I get it.
That's so funny, dude. We got a lot in common with that. Cannabis, and we don't like. Actually, you know what? I like some white girls. It was just I was hurt by one. I was hurt by a blonde.
Lefty.
Nice.
Get your fat head into the left.
There's a picture going on right here.
Selfie time.
Yeah, but
you know you know what you could create then, like a nice bulgogi matzo soup.
You're right. Yeah, you're right. We're working on the mixes. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I got a good one.
Endless mixes.
Yeah.
See, we can't say shit. That's what sucks about this conversation.
What do you mean? Yeah, you can.
If we say anything, then we're the racists. So, that's nice.
Calbee and quiche. Yeah, some Calbee and quiche.
So how's things going to Jersey? You guys have been doing it. You guys have been doing this fucking podcast for like 5 years.
Yeah, man.
Fuck.
And what's going on with the? Isn't it funny? Is like, this is my whole thing on legalization. I think we were all so in love with each other, and also in love with pot. And we were kind of like fighting for them, and we didn't even know it. And I like to say that I feel like we laid down the train tracks, and then they pretty much like ran us over with the trains, right? And
well, that happens in all these industries, though.
Sure, without a doubt.
Yeah,
but at the same time, we were so deep into it. Like my relationship with Ricardo, my relationship with veterans, like. You know, even when we got to the parties and, you know, I ended up with a gun to my head like Henry Hill at the fucking end of, you know, Goodfellas. Like, I had that same moment where, like, that gun went to my head and it was like, you know, like Rachel was looking for it a little more than I was. I thought we were fine, but that we were all fighting together. We were trying to help people for specific reasons. And now, you know, you got people going over to dispensaries in Philly paying $60 an eighth. Hey, you walk in, it says Tutti Frutti, fucking fresh and fruity, 20 fucking 8%. And the thing is, then you take it home and it's uncured. You can't see it before you do
trimmed.
it. And like, you know, I don't have time to fight for patients' rights. Like, you know, and the way that I say that to myself is, look, you spend a lot of time helping other people and trying to do things for the greater good. And now, you know, I have to focus in certain ways. But, you know, look, there's a power vacuum in Philly, and we got taken out like 2.5 years ago. That vacuum like really didn't get filled. And like I said, again, decriminalization kind of put us into a position where it was like, well, fuck it. Decriminalization is like more than enough, right? Because at the end of the day, I'm not carrying more than an ounce on me. You know what I mean? And no one's going to take that off of me, and I can smoke it in public, you know? So I feel like, you know, I don't know. I'm not saying I have regrets. I'm just saying that, like, I feel like I fought a war for, like, the white man and shit. And then I came home and someone, like, pissed on me when I was, like, you know, laying on the street. Because at the end of the day, you know, whenever I tried to make money off of it, you know, like, the hammer came down. And I just think it's interesting, like, that I hate everything about pot, pretty much except for pot and, like, the friends that I made in that business. And the business of it really makes my skin crawl. Like Rachel's dad, who's an investment guy in Los Angeles, you know, is now talking about being in a cannabis, you know, company. And then when I went out to California for the first time 7 years ago and we started dating, like, and told him what I did, like, he thought I was a fucking maniac. And I feel like the proof is that's what it's come to. It's come to the point where the people involved are so disconnected from anything other than the fact that thinking they can make money that a lot of big cannabis shit's going to fail. I think you saw Oregon is trying to get the fucking multitude of pot that they have out of the fucking state, right? So they can like start moving around.
1.3 million pounds.
Yeah, now it's like if everyone smoked 19 joints a day, we'd be out of fucking bud in 2035. It's like, all right, well, like, you know, and you pretty much know what you have coming. Right? But after 20 years, if you go to pot gets legal in your state, you haven't smoked for 20 years, you go buy a bag. It's not like the pot you smoked in 1974 when you're listening to Dark Side of the Moon. You take 3 hits of it, you fucking drop into some paranoid fucking delusion, and then you never go back again. And between the people that they think they're going to cultivate, like, look, let's be honest, everyone that can buy pot that was involved in the movement can still buy their pot where they want to buy their pot. We don't need legal pot. You know, I can go to 25 cities in this country, make a call to like a guy that's similar to one of us, and I can get whatever the fuck I want, like, delivered there from. Because you think about it, we're that last line of activists. Like, there was like a great national network from Boston to fucking California, and then it got crippled by legal pot, but we still exist. We still exist on this level. And the thing is, kids aren't buying pot the way they thought they were, and people that can now buy it legally that couldn't are maybe grabbing an eighth, hitting the bone a couple times, and then never going back to the fucking store. And I feel like the big cannabis and a lot larger legalization plan, I'm like, guess what? Fall on your fucking ass, because the thing is the people that are in the know, and they think that you suck. And the people that aren't in the know, they will never give a fuck about pot enough to drive your fucking business. And you can sell $60 eighths to people with cancer. I just took a guy in off the street. He comes to my sandwich shop. His son has cancer and he's fucking blind. He's paying $480 a fucking ounce in the fucking dispensaries. And I said, you know what? The other day is the first time I did it in a really long time. I said, you know what, Tom? I got an ounce of Gorilla Glue. I need $200. Take this to your son. Here's 3 bags of fucking gummy bears. And right there, I cut the motherfucker in. The thing is, still, after all these motherfucking years, I know Ricardo Rivera 5 years, we're still getting fucking RSO fucking from friends. You know, and growers and people like that, and it's like, what does that say about the state of affairs? You know, at the end of the day, and then it makes me severely disappointing that at the end of the day we were kind of like used to break down the barriers, and then like kind of like pushed aside. Well, now you look in Harrisburg, right? I used to go up to Harrisburg with fucking 50 people and stand on the fucking steps, right? But now that medical marijuana is making so much goddamn money, those cocksuckers can hire lobbyists, and now they can go into Harrisburg with the Scott-O, right, and fucking and get it taken care of, and then next thing you know, all the medical companies are going to own the rec companies, and after that, hey, was it any different when Al Capone was doing their things and all those guys were doing their things? Like, no, they made their money while they could because of the way it was. But you know what? None of those motherfuckers work for Seagram's, and
Al Capone died very poor, you know that, right?
Yes, and of syphilis, I believe.
Yes.
So, that's discouraging, and it makes me kind of like, not like I turned my back on all of this, but, I don't talk to Chris anymore. I don't talk to Mike Whiter, like, here and there. And look, I got a family now, and I got different priorities, like, etc. But I feel like I also really regret not cherishing what was going on when it was happening, because it was so great that you never thought it was going to end. And like, it doesn't have to end for you fucking guys, because I mean, you ain't got much to do. Let's be honest.
Yeah, but it doesn't have to end here either.
So you got nothing better to do. You're right.
So I mean, like me personally, like I'm getting a testing machine. I'll have a testing machine here by the end of the month that can test all THC and CBD levels. Yeah, because
awesome.
I opened my first dispensary in 2004, and there was no testing machines in 2004, 5, or 6. It wasn't until 2007 where me and other dispensary owners got together.
Addison and those guys in like NorCal, aren't they responsible for a lot of like the lab?
Absolutely,
the labs? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I mean, it was all started by the thing is about testing cannabis. It was started by people who actually were in the industry that cared about the industry. The testing now is bullshit. I see these jars coming in from Alera and from other places that are showing 0.000% CBD. I'm like, that's scientifically impossible.
Well, it's like when we got to talk to the like when your mom started telling you to talk to your hand, or like the people controlling these businesses don't have the knowledge. And the thing is, look, I'm not saying that someone should have me on $100,000 fucking retainer. But at the end of the day, smart business would be that I'm showing you motherfuckers how to be. Like, why should a scumbag like me be showing you how to be charitable to the community with your business? And it just shows how out of touch the people that are involved in medical marijuana in Pennsylvania are.
So here's a true story. So I make an Instagram post. There's a patient that came in. By the way, the guy literally lives in a homeless shelter. He's a patient. Paid, I think he got a half ounce. It was $240. So he brings it in. It's all completely uncured.
Must have been the bomb.
Untrimmed.
240 half.
It read 27.88% THC with 0.0% CBD. So that was like got me right there. I pulled the herb out for the guy, and it was the stem was bending. It was terrible trimmed, So I just take a picture. I said, hey, Alara, maybe grab a pair of scissors.
Alara's the fucking worst. I actually
Right?
started a boycott of them, and then it didn't. Like, you know, like you can't really boycott that stuff. I mean, I can, but you know, I'm not.
So about 4 days later, by the way, I get a message, you know, from Alara saying, hey, can you please let us know the name of the patient? We'd love to take care of him, you know. Great. 4 days later, I get 4 people showing up here from Alara. They come in, they invite me to a couple parties, want to tell me how great everything is. And so I asked him, I said, listen, can I ask you guys a question? What did you used to do? You. 3 out of 4 were pharmaceutical salesmen before. One was actually a mother who her son has epilepsy that or autism that she created her own formula to help him. That now Alara created a formula and it's called Hope.
That's what I heard. They just had it. My friend Jeremy was at like that release party.
Yeah, that release party. By the way, I said, and I told him, I said, well, I make an oil that can help eczema and psoriasis, and well, you should get with Alara on that. I said, well, can I ask you a question? What kind of royalties are you getting from that? She's like, well, not. I'm like, what?
How do you think all the mothers feel in Pennsylvania that were like fucking essentially like used to like pass that bill, and now they're just fucking paying out of their, you know, pocket to that, you know, for a to a certain extent, and like, you know, look. This is when I was finished. About 6 months ago, we started like talking about boycotting Alara because their bud sucked and it was overpriced and they were doing all this shit. And then I got contacted by one of their representatives about sitting down, and then I made it public that I was sitting down with them, and then they balked. And then when I talked shit on them again, I got hit by their PR guy who wanted to buy me lunch, and then it never happened. It's like, look, good business would be cultivating people that are like members of the movement and be like, I'm not saying it's going to be like, hey, I'm Mike Whiter, and I'm here for fucking, you know, this group, this pot company, and I smoke this and you should too, or me doing fucking most interesting man in the world fucking commercials for these people. But at the same time, you know, by kind of just being like, oh, they were like the outsiders of that, you know, if we were embraced in that culture, and it's like, why aren't guys like I on like a board that can say, hey, we're for patients, and guess what? We want to smell the fucking pot or look at the fucking pot before we buy it.
Check this one out. So we're here, we're chilling. I said, have you guys been to the grow facility? Oh, yeah, we all go out to the grow facility. I said, can I ask you a quick question? What's your curing process? And they said, well, what's that? And I said, okay, can you tell me what happens after they cut the plant down? What do they do with it? Oh, they put it in this room where it all hangs and dries, and once it's dry, they clip it off and it falls into these little bins. I said, well, what do they do after that? They package it.
You leave the crow's feet out.
They do not even. Well, they trim some of the crow's feet. By the way, they don't trim them all, but they don't cure it. There is no curing process. They
don't need to cure weed.
Yeah,
just chop that up and smoke it.
Yeah, I feel you. Yeah.
So if you can imagine it, throwing uncured weed into a bottle with a Boveda pack, comes out with a flexible stem. The THC is not even accessible. I mean, you can't say it's 27.8 THC, because that's why when I have the testing machine here, we're going to take the pot out of the jar, we're going to have a camera on it, we're going to test it. The testing machine comes straight from Israel. It's one of the best they have, and we'll see what they got. Now, if it's wrong all the time, guess what we have then, Nikki? We have a valid case to take to a court and say that these people aren't providing safe access to safe medicine. They're not even providing proper testing. They're not providing proper curing. We should have the right to have our own places because we know what the fuck we're doing.
And I know the fight is supposed to go like on from here, but like for
Goes
me,
to courts.
You know, doubling back. You know, I saw a lot of people that I knew in Boston and Providence and all those places that after you have the legalization, there's the next fight of the activist, which is to be like, no, fuck this, or or like whatever, right? But the thing is like there isn't like a group assembled in Pennsylvania that's like, it seems like they're interested in doing that. And like I mean, Pat, it's very comforting to hear you say that stuff that you're interested in, but like the next level of it, like I'm not gonna say that I'm disengaged with it, but like decriminalization like allows like us to just like live like our like pot lifestyle in Philly. And like, you know, when we say that we fought for the program so that that guy that I served the other day or someone that's really sick has like access when like on the street they wouldn't have that access. Look, I can give a guy gummy bears for fucking Parkinson's, but those gummy bears are designed to fuck you up. My friend made them, you know? So it's great for that. But the thing is like the price gouging and the lack of quality. I mean, they snuck that flour thing in where you could buy the flour, right? Yeah. So I would like to.
Do you know why you couldn't buy flour at first?
Because
they couldn't even fucking grow the shit right.
That's
it.
What
I kept saying, this fucking shit sucks. We can't let the people get it yet.
Well, what I was going to say was that when it was oil only, I bet you those rooms looked like a fucking nightmare because they were just probably letting them grow ragged and just throwing everything in the fucking hash machine and fucking and at the end of the day it's coming out gold and they're slanging it. I mean, the products at the end of the day, like, they suck. My friends that grow pot in New England, my friends that grow pot in Michigan, like, if I can grab a quarter pound of something like that and sit on it for a fucking few months, you best believe that and that's another thing, like with the growing, right? It's like really, really qualified people. My friend's beard grows in Los Angeles, grow amazing pot, have an amazing brand. Do not have the opportunity to come in and like do these like rooms. And I'm sure that they're pulling like talented people from companies. It's nice to see Moxie in Pennsylvania. Like, I've always been like a huge Moxie fan. And out of all the flour, to be honest, I had some grape shit from them that someone bought me.
Grassroots has good flour too.
Okay.
Grassroots is that, and that's the people who own the one in South Philly. What's it called?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and I just, at the end of the day, like, I don't really have much fight in me anymore, and, for multiple reasons. I was talking to Pat outside where, for Poe as, like, a career, I think that I accomplished a lot of things, and I've made my peace with it. Now I'm just, like, fucking, it went from, are you the fucking weed guy, to now it's, are you the fucking sandwich guy? You're the guy with that little baby?
French fries. The French fries are good, by the way.
Thank you. But it's just hard, so, I want to go back to having some fucking fun, to be honest. You know what I mean? Like, that's what basically comes down to. If
you going to Turptown?
To where?
Turptown.
I think I am going to I am going to try to get up to one of them. It's just been so hard for me because this fucking baby's like teething and like dude, I work. The other day I worked 17 hours. Was getting tossed and there's 8 to 10 fucking racks like
again. Yeah, the postpartum war. Yes.
Yeah. So. Postpartum, the restaurant, all that, and like I said, it's encouraging to be here. I mean, this is amazing and bold, and it's going to get bigger and better. And I feel like all I ever wanted to be was part of the auxiliary. Like, when we were throwing those parties, it went from like me going to California, visiting my friends, seeing events like this, and bringing back and doing them. Like, I never acted like I was reinventing the wheel. And as pot continues to move on, I think that like guys like me and Pat are like the premier gentlemen to be able to show you how to have a good time. And at the end of the day, if pot's just going to become a recreational vice, we should be able to be in a position to provide that platform for people, because at the end of the day, some asshole in a golf shirt that has enough money to invest that used to sell fucking, oxys doesn't deserve to own this place, because you know why? It'd have no fucking soul. And at the end of the day, the medical program has no soul, and it shows, and if I had more time, or if I was literally more fucking interested at this point, I never fucking could, But at the end of the day, he's out there now, this thing he's doing with the pot is hilarious with saying I'm going to sell weed and all that shit. I think that's literally beautiful. I think
hashtag sell weed like a white guy.
I think it's the best work that he's ever done. And me and Ed have always had our differences, obviously. I spent my whole life copying his career, just doing it well. So I got to get it in. But anyway, the thing is Ed's never going to own a fucking place because of that work. So I felt like right now, if I were to rage against the fucking machine, it would make me seem bitter. And I think that Ed has every right to be bitter, but I just like to examine the idea, well, if I'm sitting out the dispensary with a sign that says price gouging and not being able to look at the pot fucking blows, and then someone writes an article about me, where's that going to get the movement? Where's that going to get me? And I just see it all as kind of like a dead end at this point. But except for this, I think that what Pat's doing, and I think that, what we could still do to socialize pot, in the long run, I think there is some potential there for the actual pot heads to maybe get some control of the industry. But damn, man, what's interesting is that some of the patients that come here have been telling me that they go places now, and there's a bar out in Germantown Ave that's allowing people, if they have their medical card, to use their medical marijuana. So, and the reason why the guy said he's doing it is because he read the article about this place, which is in the Philadelphia Inquirer, which the state admitted that they don't have any purview over this type of place. So, I mean, I think the key is to now, before
before the state, and the state's going to make rules and regulations for lounges, is before they do it is to create your own lounge.
Yeah, it's America.
This is the thing is about what I'm doing here is this is a hybrid. I mean, this is a hybrid of a bunch of things. I've got a CBD store which tries to support the lounge, and I get the lounge which supports people to have a place to be. And like the girl earlier, by the way, that girl earlier came in here, and I'm going to be really honest. I mean, like she's a huge work in progress that we said to you guys, but I can tell you, she's so if you look at that wall right there, that's her art on the wall right there.
Very cool.
Yeah. First time she's ever hung art on any wall.
I love it.
And it's because she came to a place where she could to the psychiatrist. Don't tell her that. She's putting herself through hell for something. I finally told her, I was like, something she's doing in her life she doesn't have to do, and you just don't have to do it anymore. And she's like, why haven't my psychiatrist said this? Well, it's because they get paid every freaking week for you to come back and be all whacked out, right? Whereas you can come here and we can have an honest, open conversation about who you are, and what you want to be. You can use a little cannabis during it, and there's art around, there's a lounge outside, and there's nothing wrong with what we're doing. There's literally an area around the corner that's around the corner. It's on Huntington. There's a park that people have. It's an open what do you call it, site? It's an open injection site.
Oh, wow.
So it's a park, literally. So there's got to be something called compelling interest to stop you from doing what you're doing.
Right.
So in Philadelphia, thanks to people like Nikki, we have decriminalization, where the law is that you can use cannabis in private as long as you know.
What's the deal with look? The thing is, that's what I wasn't sure with. Is like you guys really took advantage of the medical congregating and. And also, the brilliant. Right. And the thing is, I mean, like that, I literally don't even know my fucking rights as a medical patient, like for that kind of stuff.
Yeah, you can smoke wherever you feel comfortable in Pennsylvania. They made it even more ambiguous.
Okay.
So that's why when I read the law, what does this mean? Where I feel comfortable? Well, I feel comfortable right here. You fucking kiss my ass.
Right.
I mean, is where I feel comfortable. So
right next to the liquor store.
And as long as I'm in private, by the way, and the reason, listen, when I open my dispensaries. I open my dispensaries specifically as churches. So in front of that store right there, that's a retail establishment. Behind that door, you're in a sanctuary. It says it right there, patient sanctuary, when you walk in. So listen, the First Amendment is a very powerful tool that can be used for anybody.
Yeah.
So I mean, you got people that won't make a cake for somebody because they're gay. All right, and they have the right to do that, right?
Why'd you kick me like that?
Because it's not kicking; it's called footsies.
Just because I voted for Trump, okay? I would have made the.
Why do you got to bring him into
this?
What's
the podcast link? Where can someone be listening to this?
Why do you got to bring him into this?
Sativa Cross on YouTube.
It's live on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah, come on. See, this shows you how many times he watched.
Let me ask a question to both of you guys.
8 inches.
Because you use a vape pen that's 8 inches long.
Yeah.
I know you still probably use it. How are we going to test vape pens for these nanotoxins that they talk about, these metals that heat up to and that hurt you?
Well, what's crazy about that for me is that I will first give the fucking dispensaries credit because a couple of people brought like the live resin pens by from the shop. And yo, dude, 3 fucking nice little fucking hits of that, bro. Your eyes, I always feel vape pens get me in the eyes, right? But like the major issue with this is 1, fucking Amazon. And 2, between these fucking homos vaping, I can't say homo, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's 2019.
Right,
Say whatever you want.
Homo sapiens.
Vaping, the nicotine shit.
Homo vapians.
Right. The nicotine stuff and the fact that you go on Amazon and order some nice fucking packaging and then someone's basically putting mystery juice and fucking like trim like into. People that want to buy them want indica and sativa, right? Well, I mean, those cocksuckers are just writing indica and sativa on different fucking things and like putting them in there. And I'm not saying that there isn't a market for that being like correct, like to a certain extent. I'm just saying that, what they're putting into this stuff and the way they're marketing it, you don't know what the fuck is going on. And that's the scariest part because I feel like, hey, some soccer mom wants an indica, pen, but she's getting like a bunch of fucking chemicals and a fucking nice like wrapper, and people are so into like the marketing side of it that it's like really easy to get them there. And maybe that's why we need legal pot. Maybe that's why we need legal pot. But at the same time, fuck, like who knows? We're like probably creating new cancers that like we won't even know. Like, thank God.
You know what we really need? I'm telling you.
Weed Man. This is where see New Jersey Weed Man is somebody I've known for a long time. You're correct. I've seen. I saw how you kind of did the same thing. Where you created this kind of personality like he did. But he sees these things in different ways. Where I kind of agree that it's really only going to take one big court battle, a well-publicized court battle in each state, where the jury says not fucking guilty. Because then these corporations have no power. The only power they have right now is they're writing these rules and regulations where they're the only ones allowed to do it, right? So until somebody says, you know what, suck my cock, I'm allowed to do it too, which I'm really close to doing that. That's about to happen here in Philadelphia, kind of similar to what Weed Man's doing right now, because the USDA just put a memo out on May 31st saying that hemp can no longer be regulated in the amount of THC it has, meaning that the 0.3 level is off the fucking table. So how are you going to tell me I can't sell something that has more than 0.3 when the USDA just told me I could? So I'm waiting for my attorney to hear back from him. But once that happens, I can bring in hemp that has, 12, 14% THC and 8% CBD. It doesn't matter as long as it's
isn't hemp derived fucking CBD just snake oil? Isn't it not?
No.
Okay, because I don't fucking know.
No, not at all.
I only use things for like psychoactive effects.
I'll tell you what. So my good friend, my brother has Parkinson's. My good friend has Parkinson's. I make a 3,000 milligram CBD oil out of hemp, what they call hemp RSO oil, and I infuse 4.5 grams into, which is about 696 milligrams per gram, into 2.5 ounces of olive oil. So that's 3,184 milligrams, basically, of CBD inside of this tincture. So each full dropper full is roughly 55 milligrams of CBD, right? One full dropper full, my friend went from full tremors to no tremors in less than 15 minutes. Yeah. Okay. Wow.
So that's what brings me back every fucking time is like the miracle of the shit. Because even today, it's like being a farmer cop or something, right? Like if you might retire from that, but if you see someone that has some kind of like, you're in a movie theater and someone fucking pulls out a knife, right? You do that. And I feel like that's where I am with pot. It's that, hey, I meet someone, lady down the block from me. Oh, hey, I have back pain. You know where I can get Percocets? No, but I got these gummy bears. Why don't you eat one before you fucking go to bed and you wake up? Even Jose, who lost 3 limbs in Afghanistan, he's at the point where he's not like smoking like crazy all the time. He's using RSO where like instead of like a rice, it's like the size of a fucking thumbprint, but it's like the guy's basically on fucking Valium all day long, and like for pain relief and for that type of stuff, I feel like that.
Well, that's what CBD would help him with, because he wouldn't be like on Valium because he's so fucking high because there's so much THC in there.
Yeah, you're probably right.
So yeah, trust me, it's incredible. I mean, I've given it to my brother Sean. Actually has diabetes. It's crazy how my whole life. So how we were talking about how people like push these things out there. I mean, I've been the fucking pot guy. You know what I mean? I've just been the pot guy. People just accepted it. My mom called me in 2004 like, honey, I saw you getting arrested at the Liberty Bell. I'm like, yeah, Mom, it's okay. It's okay. I mean, your mom doesn't think it's okay when you're getting arrested on purpose ever.
Right.
I can assure you that.
I'll never forget the first time I came out when I got locked up federally down there as well. I came out and there was like fucking 20 or 30 people outside the building and my mother. And it was the first time that it kind of like, my parents are simple people. They're good people. But the first time that she like fucking realized that what we were doing was like a mission, and that like, it wasn't me getting locked up for fucking like pissing on a car when I was 22, that it was like this kind of like righteous kind of thing. And I think that they clicked with my parents like then, and they saw that this kid's involved in something that's bigger than him.
And meaningful. Yeah. I think what happens is like my mom was a hippie, so I'm sure she was like woo woo in the back, but she can't. Now in hindsight, they are. My brother comes in, he's asking for things to help him with diabetes. My other brother's got Parkinson's, I'm helping him. Now this plant that I know so well, that I knew could help so many people, is I'm at the advantage now. People come in here from another place and they talked about CBDs, and the person's like, yeah, it's stuff that kind of can help you.
No, I see. I feel at a disadvantage. It's interesting that you say that, because I mean, I'm glad that you feel an advantage, because in certain ways it's inspiring for me.
Yeah, but you're selling sandwiches. I'm selling CBDs.
Sure, but I'm saying that just for pot in general, like if I you seem like more excited about that, and like I'm saying that I gave up on it, but I feel like yes, you feel an advantage.
give up on it.
You feel like an advantage. Yeah, but I don't have.
Dude, your sign says "Sorry, we're stoned."
We are.
So no, you
still
didn't
get
give up on
stoned
it.
every day, right, bro?
Dude, come on.
Yeah.
So just stop. Just because giving up on something, dude, you're still out there.
Yeah, and well, the thing is, I'd like to say that other than this,
your sandwiches have representations of pot. You say sorry, we're stoned.
Yeah. I think we're like a first.
You have an Ascene fish on your fucking on your Mac machine.
Yeah, we just ended up business, but like for like a restaurant that's not for a restaurant, I'm proud that we're the first.
Weed Man was so mad, by the way, you named it Poe's Joint. He was so
well,
mad.
you know what? The thing is, I was on the thing at the end of the day, certain people said that to me, and I was like, but you know what? At the end of the day, this is what works best for this.
Yeah,
and then I thought, well, I could like not do that, and like 5 or 6 people could like ever fucking ask me about it. Or I could just fucking do it the best that I can. And, you know, I feel like we're the first openly friendly pot business. And I'd like to think that it's the same way. And this place is we're like fucking gay bars. You know, and I've always, once again, respect to the LBGTXYZ fucking community, right? But at the same time, because they've suffered a lot more than we have to get where they are. But the mirroring of that movement and our movement, you know, is very interesting. I mean, you know, we're going to put the glory hole in over at Post like we can. Is there a certain amount of people that are like turned off by my business? Like, I guess. But the thing is, like, we would never jive on anything, right? So, like, you know, if you get some of the double entendres, you know, or you just get like the culture, or you just like learn to accept the culture. Because let's think about it. Just the fact that you say, well, yeah, they are fucking. Someone left me a Yelp review that said, those fucking stoners gave me the wrong sandwich. I would have never ordered this sandwich. But I was hungry and I ate it. The sandwich was fucking delicious, 5 stars. So I feel like that even people that, just, hey, these people are part of the culture. Obviously, you know, this asshole is getting up every day and running this business. So like the whole like lazy fucking stoner thing, like, you know, isn't going to fly. But it's cool to be, you know, to carry on, I guess you say, the legacy of our work by saying, you know, now our, you know, flag is planted. We're both in the district where I was arrested. And, you know, the other day after the Fishtown Festival, Sergeant Massey, who busted our fucking parties, the sergeant of the thing, came up and grabbed a motherfucking sandwich. You know what I mean? So I have to take this. I'm sorry.
He hasn't come in here yet, thank God.
Sergeant Massey.
Wow.
It's like, yes, we have a meatball parm for a cop. You know how that works,
Get
right?
it?
No. I'm sure Massey had a great sandwich. No, seriously.
I thought he would have ordered the pork.
He probably did.
Yeah.
Probably got the Uncle Ricky. It's the Pernillo, eh?
His voice at this point, and this is the voice of a man who's married to an Asian woman.
Oh, geez. See, we can't say this.
I'm just going to assure you that this conversation outside is going on between him and his lady. Are we playing music?
Yes.
I like it. Ooh, there's one burger left, Rich.
There's more than that.
There's words to this.
A lot of shit over there.
You want to hear the
words?
words?
You guys want something, eat it. I got a smorgasbord of Poe's Joint. I want everything, I think. How do you not support the guy who he brought us decriminalization? See, you can't appreciate this.
I appreciate it.
No. You can't appreciate it like
Here,
me.
appreciate my song. Here we go.
Oh, hold on.
Ready? When Chuck was driving with a cracked windshield, his cops told him he didn't yield. They asked him why his car smelled like skunk. Chuck says, I don't answer questions, punk. I don't care. The law has got to change. When Mikey was riding on his Huffy, the cops beat him red and puffy. They said you should have bought a Schwinn. Now we have to take you in. Mikey does dabs and he don't care. Mikey rolls blunts and he don't care. Mikey smokes pot and he don't care. The law has got to change. When Jeff was in the hospital sick, the head nurse, she was such a dick. She took away his evening grass, Gave it back and felt like an ass. Jeff does dabs and he don't care. Jeff rolls blunts and he don't care. Jeff smokes pot and he don't care. The law has got to change. That's it. That's all I got for you right now.
I like it.
That was really good.
The law has got to change.
Change is good.
Well, it's up to us to change the law sometimes.
Right. Yeah.
That's the really sad part is he's correct in the sense you fight so hard for something to happen, and then when it happens, it kind of sucks. And it sucks because they don't ask the people that kind of were involved before. California had legalization since 1996.
Yeah.
So, maybe instead of giving it to companies that were from
That's sad. You know what? You say that shit, you're right.
Yeah.
I'm friends with Eddie Lepp, and here's a dude who, he was part of that.
How do you know Eddie Lepp?
I went to California. I went to Chalice. And
where at? You went to his farm?
No. He had just gotten out of jail. This was like 3 years.
His first wife was Heidi. That was what happened. Was Eddie grew. You want to see something cool here? Hold on one second.
Yeah. So like he's saying, you see a guy like Eddie. This guy's like a fucking legend, and yet no one's taking care of him in California.
So this book is called Shit I Think About by Eddie.
You suck, man.
This is mine. This is called Shit I Think About. And it says Free Eddie Lepp. And that's Linda right next to him. Linda, it's not Heidi, it's Linda.
Is his first wife.
Yeah, Linda Senti, her name was. So Linda had cancer, like a stage 3 cancer when they first planted the field, stage 4 cancer. For many years she had cancer and she was dying. And after they busted Eddie in 2000 and... it was 2004 when they busted him, right after a High Times article, by the way. They came out and they tore out 36,000 plants that were planted in the field right next to Highway 20.
Wow.
They were driving down the highway with fucking plants just falling out of these trucks, and Eddie, the fucking crazy man, was driving behind him in a pickup truck fucking picking up every plant. He's like, fuck that, that's my fucking shit! Fucking cruising behind him, picking up his fucking plants. And they wouldn't take him to trial because Linda was so sick that they didn't want her to be at the trial because the jury would see her and realize why they're growing these plants. So they literally waited till she died, and after she died, they took Eddie to trial. When Eddie, I paid Eddie's mortgage for a couple months when he was waiting to go to jail when I owned dispensaries out in California. Eddie and I are good friends, like we went traveling together, and Eddie Lepp is a person who he opened his entire farm up to anywhere, just fit in there. And that's the thing about pot. His pot has the ability to make people fit together. It's like this
unites people.
It's like the opposite of alcohol, where you get these people who are opposites drink alcohol, all of a sudden, boom! It's like an explosion. You can. That's why you have cliquey bars. Because if they're not cliquey, then they have too much of a mixture. All of a sudden, it's fucked. You know what I mean? Because alcohol's involved. But with pot, you could have people come in here during the day. They're sitting down next to each other and they're talking, and two people who had never talked before, anywhere else, and they're having a conversation, and you want to hear a cool story? Actually, when I first met Eddie Lepp, I moved out to California. I moved out there to grow pot on the top of a mountain, and I was actually going out to trim it, and my dog got into a fight with my other friend's dog, and that's where I was going to stay, and he's like, dude, you got to go. Now, if you don't know anything about Laytonville, California, there ain't nowhere to go. He lived on a mountain. He lived up Spy Rock Mountain, and that's it. You come down in Laytonville. There's a motel, a gas station, a couple little stores. That's it. So where you go? So I had a radio show in Philadelphia for a couple years, and I had Jack Harrer on the radio show, and I had met Jack in New York a couple times, and Jack was a beast, man. Jack was an incredible dude, but he. So I call him on the phone. I'm like, Jack, I'm in California. You're the only guy I pretty much know in California. He's like, where are you at? I said, I'm in Laytonville. He's like, listen, I'm 20 minutes away. What's going on? I said, I came out here to trim, and this guy's saying I can't stay. He said, you come stay with me. He didn't even think about it. So I went and I lived with Jack for a couple months, and we went traveling around the country, and we went with Eddie and talked with Eddie every day. Eddie Lepp lived about a half a mile down from Jack, so every day we'd be with Eddie and Linda, and he was going through the bullshit with the feds, and I'm
really one that gave him the idea for the ministry, to start the ministry, because I was into the religious thing, and so everybody out there changed everything to a ministry, and then Jack and I went to, like, we traveled around the country and went to different festivals, and yeah, I'd never seen nothing like. He's in his like late 60s, I believe, at the time, and we'd go traveling city to city, and he'd be selling this fucking book, Emperor Wears No Clothes. And it would be like his fucking thing.
Classic.
And anybody he talked to, he could bring hemp into a conversation. I don't care if somebody talked about a fart. You know what I mean? He'd be like, he could segue right into a hemp. You know what I mean? Hemp, fart kind of smells like hemp. You know? and he would tell everyone that hemp could save the world. And that it's the only thing that can save the world. And he actually had a bet. It was a $100,000 challenge that was out there that, you know what? I am going to revive one day. That and because Arjan, who died from malaria, who was running the Strain Hunters, was the one that was paying for that challenge. So I don't know if since he's dead, the challenge is dead. But the $100,000 challenge was he challenged anybody out there that could prove that the only thing that could save us from fossil fuels and deforestation was hemp. That's it. It's the only thing that can save us from the fossil fuels, which will run out, and deforestation, which fucks us every time we cut more trees down. Was hemp, because it's a biannual renewable crop that can be grown that makes the ground healthier every time it grows. He would repeat that all the time. That was like his thing. It was like fucking stuck in his head. Yeah, it was beautiful. It was beautiful. But it was like it was like a record player. Pop, 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 pop. And he did it so many times, and he influenced so many people. I mean, Woody Harrelson was influenced by Jack. His whole movement was influenced by Jack, you know.
He got back into it recently.
Yeah, and so what happened was when I lived out there with those guys, this is what I was going to get to, was Eddie and I became really good friends, and I got to know him personally, and something about that guy that people don't realize is that Prop 215 wouldn't be Prop 215 without Eddie Lepp.
Exactly.
Because he was the first one to be tried and acquitted under Prop 215. So, just by the way, if you're an activist, hi, activists. Activists don't take plea deals. We don't take plea deals. We take trials. Because the trials will you change shit. Okay? Plea deals that, you know. So, what happened was we had a situation where Eddie got arrested. He had a big field of pot in Northern California, and he got arrested in 98. And when he got arrested in 1998, he took it to trial. He said, no, wait, we have a law that says it was fucking
Simple.
ambiguous. It was very ambiguous. It was written by a guy named Bill Panzer out of San Francisco. He wrote the law. And little known fact that George Soros, 4 months before the election in 1996, put up $1 million so Prop 215 passed. So the same guy that put up $1 million for Larry Krasner to be here put up $1 million for.
And thank God for fucking that. 50 cops.
Right?
50 cops were just taken off of the street. And look, me and the cops, we're cool now. But 50 cops are just taken off the street because of the stupid shit that they're saying on fucking Facebook.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, I'm not saying that anyone can't have like their own opinion on things, but when your job is something that, you know, whatever, and it's nice to see the police held accountable. And I think that the murder rate's out of control in Philly right now, which has to do with gentrification and poverty more than it has to do with anything. I mean, I got a fucking rock thrown through my window the other day, you know, like, so, you know, it's crazy, but it's good to see that, you know, Soros funded Occupy too. That's where I fucking learned how to do everything. So I appreciate that too, George. But we are definitely, you're seeing a change in the culture with the police and marijuana. You know, I always say police are like dogs. Like, you know, you tell them what to do and they'll do it, and tell them to stop doing it and they'll more or less stop doing it. And I feel like that attitude has changed about cannabis in Philly, where it's like, look, if a cop comes up and I'm smoking a bone outside, and his partner come out to grab some food, you know, the freedom in Philadelphia is beautiful. It makes me so happy.
They don't give a fuck. It's just like I was trying to tell Lefty earlier. When the Eagles won the Super Bowl and they had that parade,
yes,
I was hearing.
Is there an iPhone charger around? Look, weed. I live 2 blocks from the school district now, and I'm like, I smoked weed outside of the school district, And I'm like, who the fuck let me fucking smoke weed outside? Like, who was I working with it? Like, told me this was like a good idea. But, you know, you can't be embarrassed by the shit you did because at the end of the day, the stuff that you've done makes you who you are. And, you know, we're all sitting in this room because we've taken the path that we've taken. And thank God that we can smoke weed wherever we want, right? Because, like, fucking, like, Denver's like a shopping mall where you can buy fucking pot. You know what I mean? Like, you know, and you're just like, fuck this place. Like, Philly, you have the culture of Philly, and you can blaze, like, shit.
No one cares. It's amazing.
Very difficult to know what's inside of them. Maybe tell us what the sandwiches are, and that could give a good advertisement for your sandwich place, too.
Go to the website, man. It's got it
we
all
don't
there.
fucking have a website. The Instagram.
Well,
Good.
What was
that's
that last
like,
one?
Well,
that was a slider.
Oh, the Rob, dude. Well, you know, basically what we wanted to do with the whole menu was I took a lot of, like, you know, my grandmother died recently, and I named
Sorry to hear that.
Thank you, Luca. I named Luca after her. And
I thought that was after your son.
Oh no. Well, her name was Lucy.
Okay.
So we named him Luca, so she could enter his body from a different over there. And, you know, with Italians, she would always cook so simply. And then I got into the restaurant business, and I'm like, oh, you don't have to use plain mushrooms. You can use fucking portobellos or shiitake. So I always felt like we took what she did in a traditional sense and kind of just added a little, you know, modern culture to it. So, you know, chicken parm, exactly. Chicken parm.
Is there chicken parm over there? What's chicken parm named?
Mushman.
The Mushman.
Chicken parm, meatball parm, you know, we had sausage and peppers, classic Italian stuff. But then making something for the vegans. We have a tofu banh mi. Cutlet sandwiches. We have the classic fucking broccoli rabe. We just put, like you said, the roast pork on there. So, like, basically the thing is, and we're using Sarcone's rolls, which is definitely the best in Philly. And the thing about that is bringing South Philly to Fishtown. I feel like we reinvented the wheel because at 2 a.m., when I was a waiter or a bartender, when I usually get a bag of Coke, now you can get kind of like sandwiches and then kind of giving them like
feed the crackheads. I like that.
The vibe of the pot kind of vibe to it too. You know, is it my fucking dream job? Like, no, but you know what? I was sweeping the floor the other day and I'm like, you know what? I could be sweeping some other motherfuckers for. You know what I mean? And
jail floor, homie.
Yeah, true.
Jail floor.
True.
Been there,
Shout
done that.
Shout to Chuck Peruto on that. Yo, you want to laugh? Here's a good one. So,
yeah, how did you get a mafia attorney anyway? He's fucking big time.
Yeah, he went to high school with my mother. And I'm a kingpin.
Christ.
They left me in there for kingpin. So the funny thing is, I got a call from Chuck about 3 weeks ago, and he goes, "Listen, man, you got it. We're going back in front of the judge. You're getting off probation because I could smoke pot and that I was a patient." That, you know, I didn't really give a fuck because the only thing that affected me about probation would be pissing in a fucking cup, and the fact that I can't piss in a cup is fine. But you know what? You think about it, if I get in a car with someone and they have something on them or like whatever the fuck, right, all of a sudden, like, I got a kid and I'm in these probation violation, you know, situations to a certain extent. So he goes, we're going back in front of the judge. So we go back in front of the judge. Great guy, fair man. You know, and he dismissed me after a year. So then I go on Chuck Peruto's Facebook page. And I look, he just married like this 29-year-old like broad down in Mexico. I look at the fucking justice of the peace for the wedding, my judge. and I, for the first time, saw, because shit, man, when they locked me up in 2013, like, and you're in federal jail, like, at the end of the day, I literally got like 2 pot tickets, right? But at the time, you get whisked off the street, thrown into jail with fucking, oh, dude was smoking a bone. It's a summary offense, like whatever, right? But I never saw the justice system the way I saw the justice system after this. I mean, I got 8 felonies. And look, I got 2 felonies now, you know, but at the end of the day, bro, I'm never going to be sitting across from someone trying to get a fucking job. So those felonies, I can kind of say, are in a certain way a badge of honor. Now, Rachel got let off with misdemeanors. She's still on probation, but I fell on the sword. You know, took those, but shit, I had 8 felonies. I'm locked up on kingpin status. Like, when the judge came down and they were like, your bail is like $250,000, I just went the fuck to bed because at the end, settle for 2, get 4 years of probation, and get off of probation in a year. I'm not saying that I don't deserve it because what we were doing was like, right? Well, no. The bottom line is with that is the reason that I didn't make like a big announcement online when I got off of probation is because I didn't want to hear that shit. And what it was absolute fucking judicial privilege. You get a fucking high-end fucking lawyer that knows the fucking system and knows everyone. Now, granted, we were a popular, you know, we made the character of Poe and the pot movement in Philly popular enough that and his wife own a restaurant literally 20 steps from my place. So his wife comes over and gets sandwiches. So she comes over, and it was 3 days before I had to go into court. And look, this prosecutor, I got love for him because at the end of the day, sometimes you get a shit case thrown on your fucking desk. A bunch of narc cops raid me like shit, don't really have much evidence, lock everyone the fuck up, throw the book at me, and then you wake up on Monday morning and there's 10 articles about it, and you have this steaming pile of shit on your fucking desk. So him and his wife own this restaurant a block up from Poe's. No shit. It's called The Social. Go check it out. But she comes by, and I'm like, yeah, she's like, I'm Vanessa, and my husband's Brian. I'm like, yeah, your husband prosecuted me. And I'm like, yo, I don't know if you get any, pillow time, but I'm going to the court on Wednesday, and like, whatever. We both have kids, et cetera, et cetera. And then we go into court on Wednesday, and he recused himself from the case, which was very interesting. So, I ran into him in the street, and I'm like, I'm sure that motherfucker ain't used to running into motherfuckers that he's on the other side of. Like, they're either fucking... Because, at the end of the day, the guy's a high-end narcotics, Christ, I don't even remember his fucking name. What a nightmare that fucking guy was.
And when you did the Liberty Bell thing.
Yeah, that was when I had federal... I went from calling in once a month to pee to literally like being there like every day. I got caught using a fake dick. Like that was a nightmare.
Yeah.
He's like, he's like, your urine is 72 degrees. You're either fucking dead or, this isn't, whatever. And they busted me over and over again. I'll never forget on a Sunday night, you had to call in with your color code. On a Saturday night, I did a line of coke that was like the size of like a fucking. It was the size of like a. It was like a poodle's leg. That's how fucking long this fucking thing was, right? And I did that on a Saturday night, and I'm like, fuck. All right, I'm gonna. All right, the worst they call me on Monday, it's gonna be out in fucking 48 hours. Fucking call them on Sunday night. My color code's up. Monday morning, I go in there. And fucking, I pop for fucking cocaine, and I'm like, dude, this probation is turning me into like a whiskey, like fucking like cokehead because you won't let me fucking smoke pot. And I was just glad that this time around that I could smoke pot on probation because one of my crowning achievements, other than smoking a joint at the Liberty Bell the day I got off of probation, was being able to whip out that motherfucking medical marijuana card at sentencing because they're like. He's like, oh, well, Judge, you can only use oils and this and that. And the judge is like, look, I don't know much about pot, but once it's fucking in you, it's in you. And it doesn't matter how the fuck it gets in you. So, I didn't smoke joints on the internet, very much or anything like that. But at the same time, it was just funny to be able to pull that Trump card. And I feel like more people out there that are on probation, you see a lot of states eliminating it in general, but more people out there that are on probation, if I had more time, something I would do is like really fight and tell people to fight because, I thought that I set a precedent. You don't set a precedent unless it gave Tomasio the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania versus Tomasio, the guy had a fucking medical marijuana card. I have a medical marijuana card. You can't test me on probation. But, I guess you're putting it up to a judge's discretion. So if you're on probation and you're a medical marijuana card or you want to become a medical marijuana card holder, get it. Get a lawyer that'll fucking help you out and go in front of the judge and roll the dice. Because right now my sister's on probation. She had a problem with opiates. Then she got in a lot of trouble, and now she's on probation, and she works at my shop. And, like, at the end of the day, the chick needs to hit a fucking bowl a couple times after 9 hours of running around a fucking restaurant,
We
right?
have a doctor coming here on the 19th, by the way.
Yeah, well, I mean, the thing is about it, I need a lawyer to go out to the suburbs and challenge her judge. And but I haven't found that person yet if you're out there.
But I thought PA's law was that people on probation and parole can get a card and they can't.
You were on opiates, which are a fucking drug. But guess what, motherfucker? They passed that opiate abuse is now a condition for using fucking cannabis. So guess what? Like, so you got to start taking that seriously. And the thing is like, if you're a probation officer that doesn't want to go to court or wants to just scare the person that you're, is on your pad, then you're going to say, yeah, guess what? You can't go get that card. You can't go back into court. But guess what, people? I think that you can. And I think that more people should challenge these judges. And Pat, I'd love to look into that. Or if you have any people that are working on that kind of thing, I'd love to see that because I'd love to just get my sister a fucking card and send her into court and say, guess what? I used to abuse opiates and I don't anymore. And cannabis helps me. And, we don't have to talk about all the stories that we've seen, a guy like Mike Whiter go from fucking Abu Ghraib prison to being a fucking to attest to that. But it's just crazy that we still have to spend time convincing that. And these are all the next steps. It's no pot on probation. It's no pot for work. It's improved medical programs. It's retail
no drug testing for probation.
And these without a doubt.
That's
so
what most people go to prison for.
Yeah, without a doubt. And it's and I'd like to think that now that you can smoke pot openly, that you're in a good position now where a lot of people aren't entering the system. Hopefully, look, are they still shaking down black kids on the fucking corner and fucking bringing them in for pot if they have to? Yes, they fucking are. Look at the numbers.
Sorry.
But at the same time, I think a lot less people are just getting walked by on the street when they're smoking pot, and that means a lot less people in cuffs. And now if the people that are already on probation can get crossed over to not having to deal with that bullshit, then that's another W, So
that's a big win.
Yeah, but look, I gotta get the fuck out of here. I gotta go home to the baby. I just want to say that I love you guys. I think that honestly, what you guys done in New Jersey with those—is that a fucking weed nasal spray? That's a Narcan.
That's Narcan.
Is amazing, and what Pat's doing here is amazing. And now that I know that it's here, I'm gonna make my way down, and I'm also gonna just continue to tell people if you have some flyers or stuff that I could put out. Keep on keeping on. I mean, Wayne, I'm sure there's a pie eating contest or something in your future you have coming out.
Yeah, man.
That's fucked up, yo.
That's okay. I'll eat
How
it.
you fucking finish off with a fat joke on the dude?
Like I didn't even make any the whole fucking time.
I expect it, man. I expect it from this guy.
Look, listen, I've grown. One fucking New Jersey weed man dig and one fucking fat joke. I'm a father now. I mean, if you don't see the fucking growth, I don't know. You're never going to see the growth. But yeah, like let's get together.
You can make a balding joke.
Turptown. Turptown.
Yeah, I think my friend Germ's going to be going up there. There's some beautiful things up there too.
Where is that at?
It's
in Massachusetts.
Boston?
I can't tell you.
Yeah, those guys like Mike Crawford, Phil Hardy,
I'll
all
tell
those
you
guys up there.
Off the air, I'll tell you.
All right, well, fucking
brother, thank you for the delivery.
Thank you for fucking
Keep doing your great food business, man.
Yeah, I will. Lefty, I love you. All right,
appreciate
Fuck
it,
y'all.
everybody. Poe, Nikki Allen Poe.
You got a seat at the Dab station anytime, dude.
Appreciate.
That was great.
That was awesome.
11 to 8, but I stay open later sometimes. And then 12 to 9 on Friday and Saturday.
All right. It was a beautiful thing. A lot of cannabis activists.
Everyone who loves Poe's sandwiches, raise your hands. Woo-hoo. The one I had was badass.
Yeah, it was good stuff.
And where is Poe's restaurant located? What's the street?
Yeah, where are you at, Poe?
Marlboro.
1429 Marlboro, across from Hefe Tacos. Check them out. Best sandwiches in Philly, y'all.
Poe's Sandwich Shop.
And that shit was rad. I mean, really good. I have not had broccoli rabe on a sandwich.
That's good.
Ooh, bring it.
No one ate the fucking Philly cheesesteak. Cool. That's mine. That's
Burrini's got dibs on it. I sneezed on that one. You don't mind, right?
As long as you didn't come on it. You eat it.
Well, give me a minute.
Just a minute. All right. What do you just fucking read the names and we're out of here.
CMMNJ.org, sativacross.com, magicalbutter.com, UFCW Local 152, davidversusautism.org, medical-freedom.com, New Jersey Grannies for Grass, jacksonstorms.com, Orlo Glass, overmachine.com, Pure Puff Vapor Supply.
Hello.
Pure Puff Vapor Supply.
Wow,
it's not working.
Pure Puff.
Well, that's unfortunate.
So you gotta add the fucking Canna.
Sativa Cross West and Canacare.com and Poe's Sandwich Joint.
That's with 2 K's, not 3.
Canna, Kaneh. Right? Yes.
Yeah, by the way, I mean, how fucking often can you get 2 fucking people that own fucking businesses on Frankfurt Avenue that both were arrested smoking pot at the Liberty Bell, that both have Asian wives and little Asian babies, and also both did stand-up comedy for years? It's kind of like, that was kind of weird, right? Like ships passing. Yeah, it's like, exactly. Like, and you know, I kind of didn't like him just through the internet before, but he's a decent dude in person. Yeah, he's a good guy.
That's cool.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
On the internet, he's a dickhead.
Yeah.
I'll be the first one to tell you that. Me and him, we actually got into it. I was like, oh, this asshole wants to fucking decriminalize. who goes to the fucking cops? Can we decriminalize? I said, what kind of fucking activist is that? And then meanwhile, here I am. Every time I come to Philly, I smoke pot because of him. I ain't afraid. What's it, a fucking $25 ticket?
$100 if you're
Oh,
smoking.
my God. $100.
They don't really write them.
Hey, I've done it. I saw my Eagles at the parade, the day of the parade. I walked down fucking everywhere, bro. Fucking cops, they didn't give a fuck.
When I was put on federal probation, when Weedman and me smoked at the Liberty Bell, my probation officer, the person before my hearing, was a murderer, and the person after me was a rapist.
You fit in perfect.
Yeah, and she had said to me, she said, "Can I? This is the first time I've ever had anybody on federal probation for simple possession of marijuana." And I said, "You know why?" I was like, "Because I'm an activist, man, and you have a choice." She goes, "What do you mean?" I said, "One day there'll be a movie about this, and you could either be the good guy or the bad guy, good girl or the bad girl." I said. And she kind of laughed about it. I said, I saw the guy before me who walked out of here. He was a scary dude. I was like, and I was just sitting out there with the other one. I said, so I know I'm a little bit different than them. So this woman, I think about a month in, had to do a home visit, had to come visit my house. I was living in Northeast Philly. I was growing weed in the basement and upstairs.
Oh, wow.
Jesus Christ.
And you can't just shut the fuck down. I mean, there's nothing you can do.
No.
You can only hope she doesn't go upstairs and go into the basement.
Oh, my God.
You know what I mean? So she comes over for the house visit. I'm fucking nervous. So nervous. It's a federal... Exactly. So...
That's how fucking dumb stoners are.
No, I'm not dumb.
Not dumb. He's got a fucking grow room, top and bottom. Come on in. Check it out, lady.
That's courageous.
Do yourself a favor, buddy.
That's
Bro, that's
let the story
abnormal.
end. Let the story end.
You got off. You got off somehow, you rat bastard.
She shows up at the house.
She must have
knocks on the
smelled
door.
it.
No.
No?
It's called carbon filter.
He had the,
wow, yeah.
Yeah, come on.
He had
Come on, bunghole.
Wow.
Okay. So she shows up at the door, not kidding. Her name is Debbie Ryerson. Thanks, Mrs. Ryerson. And literally says, hi, how are you? I said, I'm doing well. She looks in the house. She goes, looks all right to me. And leaves. I failed every single drug test by innumerable amounts. They said that my urine was the hottest urine that they had ever tested for THC in the history of federal probation.
101%.
in
How'd
Philadelphia.
that happen?
Like I don't have nanograms. I had like grams and shit in my system. You know.
He has solids in his pee.
They literally told me that I had the highest level they had ever tested for.
Chunks of hash just falling out of your
And
dick.
when the guy, my probation officer was a lady. The guy would bring me in. I'm quite the spicy individual sometimes. And
oh boy.
And listen, homebo. Yeah, I know you're getting paid to do this, but I think you like it. I said, you're fucking looking at my wiener, dude. I said, you understand that you are putting me through a homosexual activity right now? I said, and I think you like it. Again, you're getting paid for this. You're getting paid to look at my dick, dude. You realize that, right? Oh, so I'm sitting there. I'm taking my piss. He's getting berated. We walk out. I berate him down the hallway. I say, hey, everybody, this guy was just looking at my dick. This guy was just looking at my dick. He walks out of the room. She goes, what did you do? I said, ma'am, he was looking at my penis. I said, I was forced into a homosexual activity right now, and I do not agree with it. I said, tell you the truth, I wouldn't
funny.
mind.
That's what they do.
Yeah, I wouldn't have minded if you went in there with me.
I love it.
And listen to this. So I filed a stay of sentence and my appeal, and part of my appeal was that I was forced into a homosexual activity by having this guy looking at my wiener while I am peeing. And guess what the judge did? He agreed.
Wow.
He sent that portion of my probation back to the magistrate to get further proceedings because he was like, well, if the guy is a Rastafarian, which, they do have an issue with homosexuality. They're not gay, especially the men. Like, they got an issue with that. And it's not that they have an issue. It's just in the Bible, there's this thing about laying with guys, right? So his argument in the thing was that, yeah, he's correct pretty much. So you have to figure that out. Also, one of the arguments was that we couldn't be around other felons, people who had felonies. And my argument was like, Well, that's most of the people I fucking know. Like, because everybody I know uses pot and uses it absorbently, so how could I not be around the people that I know and that are part of my religion who also do the same thing that you say is wrong, but we're saying is not wrong? And the judge agreed with that. Basically sent it back down to the magistrate. Now, the magistrate never had further proceedings. They left the case in legal limbo, and then wrote, the one judge wrote, that's why I do this, by the way. That's why me and Weedman kind of have a kind of a weird thing that's why I don't understand why he didn't do this, and him and Chris Goldstein didn't do this and didn't contact us and ask us about this. Because when we went there, we claimed that we had religious the right to do it. So the judge, which was actually Stuart Dalzell, was one of the judges, and so is one of the Supreme Court justices. I forget exactly one it is, but was one of the 3-judge panel that said that me and Ed Fortune had the right to use and possess cannabis in our house of worship, or any other non-federal location. They were just basically saying, please don't come back to Liberty Bell and smoke fucking pot. So basically, that's how we took that decision. That's a federal decision from a federal court that says we're allowed to be in our house of worship using cannabis. You know what I mean? So here we are. You know, that's why this is my sanctuary. That's why Ed has his sanctuary like he does. That's why I went to California and opened up all the churches and dispensaries, because a federal judge said I could. So I kind of took it and ran with it. Yeah. You know what I mean? They were just like thinking like, I'm just going to go smoke a little pot.
Yeah. A little.
So, yeah, man, what an interesting world, you know, that we live in, that you can have at the beginning of your life, you can watch people go into jail for this, you know, middle of your life jail, people being decimated, and then you fight against it and you watch it change. You know, my aunt, who's a lobbyist, she's like, how does it feel to win? I was like, well, I didn't win shit yet. The system sucks. I'll win when it's the price of a fucking tomato. I've had 3 friends murdered because of marijuana, because of prohibition of marijuana, I should say. And I've never had one friend killed over cauliflower. You know? So, and I'm sure there's probably been people that choked on cauliflower before, but I'm talking about being shot and robbed for cauliflower. The prices that are charged for cannabis at dispensaries leave it so there's still a black market element. When you can say, hey, this 1 ounce of this product is worth so much, why do you think a jewelry store has a security guard? Right? Because 1 ounce of gold means so much to them. So that's why these dispensaries have to have security guards. If dispensaries sold it for what it was really worth, they wouldn't even have to have security guards, because we could drop the price of it. We could make it so it's $3 for an eighth, $5 for an eighth. In Portland, Oregon, right now, you can walk into a dispensary, a legal dispensary that anybody could walk into. You, me, anybody that's 18 or over in Portland, and buy an eighth for $6. Right now, $6 of good shit. So why can't we do that here? Well, we can. The reason why we can't do it here is because you have corporate interests and greed. It's a policy. Imagine this. It's because they did their calculations 5 years ago and said, oh, this on the street it's being sold at this. We could sell it for this. Here's what we bring back on this, and they have calculations done as to that. Tax dollars based on that.
Exactly. That's what kills us when you start reading the articles. And I believe Colorado just came out. They finally got $1 billion.
$1 billion, yes.
$1 billion on taxes.
And the sky ain't falling.
It's amazing. It's amazing. All right, Lefty, close this out, son.
I'm going to do something a little different today.
Uh-oh. Well, you're not going to be gay?
I'm not gay anymore. This is a little different. You should like this. But in honor of my brother-in-law, Frank, who's on the list, I was always afraid of adding his name to this list, but he's on it now. But before we go there, I got a little story to tell you. You might like this, Wayne. All the tax collectors and the sinners kept gathering around Jesus to hear him.
Oh, Jesus.
And both the Pharisees and the scribes kept muttering, this man welcomes sinners and eat with them.
No, I just want you to go there and do the do their audio, do their whatever. That's so you can practice here. Don't buy the religion. Don't buy it.
31 sentences here.
Jesus.
31 sentences. Now I'm going to have to restart because you interrupted me.
But
because this is the word of the Lord.
Yo.
Now all the tax collectors,
Reverend Grimes,
and the
go ahead.
sinners kept gathering around him to hear him, and both the Pharisees and the scribes kept muttering. This is for Frank, my brother-in-law who just died.
You're going to read the Bible.
I'm going to read 31 sentences that may change your life.
It's not the Bible.
This man welcomes sinners and eats with them. Then he told them this illustration, saying, What man among you with 100 sheep, on losing one of them, will not leave the 99 behind in the wilderness and go after the lost one until he finds it? When he has found it, he puts it on his shoulders and rejoices. And when he gets home, he calls his friends and his neighbors together, saying to them, Rejoice with me, for I have found my sheep that was lost. I tell you that in the same way, there will be more joy in heaven over one sinner who repents than over 99 righteous ones who have no need of repentance. Or what woman who has 10 drachma coins, if she loses one of the drachmas, does not light a lamp and sweep her house and search carefully until she finds it? And when she finds it, she calls her friends and neighbors together, saying, Rejoice with me, for I have found the drachma coin that I have lost. In the same way, I tell you, joy arises among the angels of God over one sinner who repents. Then he said, A man had 2 sons. And a younger one said to his father, Father, give me the share of the property that should come to me. So he divided his belongings between them. A few days later, the younger son gathered all his things together and traveled to a distant country and squandered his property by living a debauchery life. Debauched life. When he had spent everything, a severe famine occurred throughout the country, and he fell into need. He even went and attached himself to one of the citizens of that country, who sent him into the fields and herd swine. He no longer longed to be filled with the carob pods and the swine were eating, and no one would give him anything. Then he came to his senses and said, How many of my father's hired men have more than enough bread? Well, I am dying here from hunger. I'll get up and travel to my father and say to him, Father, I have sinned against you in heaven, and I am no longer worthy of being called your son. Make me one of your hired men. So he got up and went to his father. And when he was still a long way off, his father caught sight of him and was moved with pity, and he ran, embraced him, and tenderly kissed him. Then the son said to him, Father, I have sinned against heaven and against you. I'm no longer worthy of being called your son. But the father said to his slaves, Quick, bring out a robe, the best one, and clothe him with it. Put a ring on his hand and sandals on his feet. Bring the fattened calf, slaughter it. Let's eat and celebrate. For this son of mine was dead, but has come to life again. He was lost and has been found, and they started to enjoy themselves. Now his older son was in the field and returned and got near the house. He heard the music and dancing. He called one of the servants and said, What was going on? He said, Your brother has come, and your father slaughtered the fatted calf because he got him back in good health. But the son became angry and refused to go in. The father came out and began to plead with him. And he replied, Father, look, these many years I have slaved for you, and never once did I disobey your orders. Yet you never once gave me a young goat to enjoy with my friends. But as soon as this son of yours arrived, you squandered your belongings with prostitutes and slaughtered the fattened calf for him. He said to him, Son, you have always been with me, and all the things that are mine are yours. But we just had to celebrate and rejoice, for your brother was dead and has come back to life. He was lost and has been found. That's the word of Jesus, and that's for Frank D. Toronto, who passed away last week from opiates. And this is happening all over New Jersey. All over New Jersey, people are dying from this shit that the doctors get you hooked on, and then they cut you off, and then you start using heroin. And that's what's happening. Our list starts with Cheryl Miller, Sabina Rose, Diane, Gracie, Cindy Mae, Marie, Jack, Joan, Randy, Polly, Bill, Chad, Jeremy, Colette, Matt, Troy, Russ, Roger, Jay, Ella, Hattie, Jackie, Anthony, Jake, Armando, Felicia, Lynn, Dan, Sean, Joyce, Lori, Frank, Brian, Flo, Carl, and Michael Dillon. And if you have 10%, give that 10% to someone who needs it. You got a big pot field, give 10% of that pot field to someone who needs it. You got a big bag of weed, give 10%. Hashtag they shall grow. They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun.